Apologies. Why was my mic not on? Whatever, you didn't miss much. You missed me fiddling with my lighting. I didn't get the chance to mess with my lighting. You missed me lamenting the fact that I've got just a whole deck of remote controls here. There's one for my desk and one for my streamer lighting and one for my ceiling fan. Yeah, that was embarrassing. But yeah, long-time viewers will know that I've been ill for quite a while now, and not in a cool way. So if I have to stop every once in a while to do that, that's why. Yeah. And so I'm on a lot of medication. It's got to be like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, freaking, we got more in here, 5, 6, 7. I'm on over a half dozen different medication. Oh, 8. Because I got this big honking thing right now. It's filled with like it's like a little smoke machine where you gotta suck down on this for like 5 to 10 minutes. And it's loud like nobody's business. It's like having a lawnmower in your room. But that's not the only reason it's a disaster around here. I've been trying to clean up. Because, you know... Hold on a second. There we go. Yeah, you know, I've been working on my my cubes here. And they still leave a lot to be desired. I haven't had a whole lot of time to focus on them just because I've had, you know, all of this going on. But I'm trying. But, you know, in erecting all these little displays here, I've kind of started running out of space. And so I've had to get rid of a lot of stuff. And so that's why everything's all out of sorts. I mean, I gotta... Come on. Don't drop him. Don't drop him. I got all these VHS tapes that I gotta convert to DVD. Because they've been hanging around for a long time. So I have to finally find out if these are special edition or not. Because, I mean... If they're special edition, like, what's the point? Anybody can get special edition. Anyone can stream special edition if they want. It's only special if it's not special. And the camera's a little too high. Let me... that's better. Yeah, and these aren't the only copies either. I got this. This quite heavy VHS tape. And according to this, it has... all 3 movies on it. Yep. A New Hope. It doesn't even call it A New Hope. It just says Star Wars. And it has Empire Strikes Back and it has Return of the Jedi. And I just found this in some random secondhand store a couple towns up in some rat-ass little polluted, impoverished city. I gotta convert this. This is my original copy of the Charlie Brown Easter special that I've been watching ever since I was a little kid. And I mean, what better time, right? There, look at how little film is in that. How lightweight is that? And of course, Fist of Fear, Touch of Death. I'm not gonna convert this because I've already got this on DVD somewhere. I want to keep this in the shrink crap. I just got it for posterity because I mean this is a classic in a sense. It's a classic piece of crap. It's one of the worst martial arts movies that I've ever seen. If not just one of the worst movies across the board. But, you know, it's precious to me in a twisted sort of way. It represents a lot of memories with me and my best friend Jaron, who may be joining us today, maybe not, not sure. But you know, when I get rid of stuff and I know that it's good, I like to run it by him to see if he's interested at all. I mean, there were a lot of shirts that I had to let go of just because they weren't really fitting. And, I just remembered. I need to change the text. Always forget about that text, don't we? I'll just call it catching up for now. But yeah, there were a lot of shirts that I had to let go because they just weren't fitting, and that really bummed me out because a lot of them were shirts that I really liked, and so I knew they were going to a good place if Jaron took them. One of them was really nice. It was like black with like a gold. I was never clear on what the difference is. What's the difference between the Aztec calendar and the Mayan calendar? Which one's the one that's like spelled doomsday to conspiracy theorists? Whatever. It's like this big Mesoamerican awesome design, and I really loved it, and now it doesn't fit anymore. It's too bad because Jaron was there when I bought it. We went to like a really, really nice, really fancy mall in Atlanta. It was just like 90% stores I'd never heard of before selling really luxurious items. I mean, they were selling t-shirts for like $90. Like, golly. I know Buckle does that, but this was almost like every store. Sometimes I felt like you were getting scammed. Like, I saw a jewelry store that was selling wooden jewelry for the same price as like metal and precious gems. I don't know fashion. I mean, as you can see, I'm just here rocking my good old Monkey D. Luffy shirt that I picked up from my last con. It's actually really comfy. It's nice and roomy and fairly soft. I like it. It's a good fit. Got my V8 Energy today. Very underrated. I was about to pick up another Coke and I was like, nah, I need something a little more clean, a little more refreshing. Especially, you know, given my condition. So yeah, I drink like 1 or 2 of these every morning to get me going. The Energy is it's just got green tea in it. Yeah, but it's crazy. It's crazy what turns up when you start cleaning. I mean, check out some of the stuff I got. I got a parking pass from like way up north, many states away, from February 15th, 2000. Sheesh. I got a quick start guide for a Sony Walkman. This is all stuff that was tucked away in a CD folder somewhere. I got the warranty for the Sony Walkman. And I got this. I got the little insert for Smash Mouth's Astro Lounge. I freaking love this album, unironically. I play it all the time. Look at that. Look at that dude. This, like, oh, there he is. Man, rest in peace. Yeah, it's too bad to see him go. You know, Smash Mouth is in my top 20 playlist. It's never leaving now. Not now that guy's gone. Look at this. They've got the lyrics, but they're all in they're all stacked up in these giant paragraphs. Like, how are you supposed to sing along with this? Sheesh. But yeah, check that out. That's 1999 in a nutshell right there. And how do you... How? Ugh. Folding this up is a disaster. Whatever. But yeah, I met up with Jaron and handed him off some stuff. I handed him his birthday gifts finally, which was long overdue because it was weird. I'd actually bought him these New Day figures a long time ago, right? Because he's really into New Day. But the circumstances under which I bought them. The thing was that originally, because I got them from this collector store not far from here. And one of the items that they had for sale was this giant... Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, Jaron. I was just talking about your birthday gift. Not just the New Day figures, but the Virgil figure. Because I don't remember if I ever told you this story. Because it was the collector store that was only like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes from my place. And luxury gifts, that's good to hear. That was very good to hear. It was thing was they had the Virgil statue that I got you for sale, right? And it was almost too luxurious. I thought to myself, I don't want to make like an arms race for like birthday gifts or whatever, right? So I'll hold off on this for now, and that'll be my like panic button for if I ever can't figure out what to get for you. But the next time I came through, it was gone. And he's like, I saw it, like, daggone it. Well, let's see what else we got here. And I found those New Day figures, and those New Day figures have actually been around for a while because I kept finding other things that I wanted to get you. And then at some point, another collector store opened up that had the exact same Virgil figure. And I don't mean one just like it. I mean, it was the same one. And I talked about it, it's like, yeah, I used to work at that collector store. And then I went and opened up a new one because I just couldn't stand the other guy. And I took my share of the inventory. So that guy lied. Which... it makes sense. I mean, what was he going to tell me? He's going to tell me, oh no, another collector store had it. Go buy from him instead of me. Like, dirty, but like understandable, I guess. And so I had to get it right away. I didn't want to let it slip through my fingers again. So I got you that, and then the New Day figures. I waited to give you those. And then I can't remember what else I got, but it was like something else that I got. You know, I was like, all right, I'll wait a little longer to give him his New Day figures. And so they've been around for a bit. Because I'm always afraid that, like, I'm always afraid of running out of ideas for birthday gifts. I don't want to give them all away right away because then I'm going to put myself on the spot one of these days. I already have your Christmas gift, though. I already know exactly what it's going to be. So, look forward to that. Johnny Ambosh and Jason Narvey loves your Daniel Southworth pictures. I wish I had, like, brought them with me. They're in another room, but I'm not going to interrupt the stream to fetch them. See, that's what it was we went to a signing for Dan Southworth and got some cool pictures and autographs and stuff. And I got me these subtleties. Because even though I'm not too hot on these cards, like, here's the... oh my gosh, they're double sleeved. Hold on a sec. Let me pop them out. Of course, I don't use sleeves at all because I'm just a filthy casual. Not worried about collector's value or any of that. Come on. Man, this is... Oh my gosh. It is so stuck in there. How am I supposed to play with these? It's almost like glued in. Oh, don't make me get the scissors. Whew. Whew. Alright, there it is. Yeah, subtlety. It's one of those elemental incarnations that came out in Modern Horizons 2. So it's got the evoke thing where if you just want the enters the battlefield bit, you can exile a card of a matching color from your hand. But this is kind of like the lamest one. It's putting a creature spell or planeswalker spell. The owner puts it on the top or bottom of their library. Why would they ever put it on the bottom of their library? That sucks. Of course they're going to put it on top. I don't know. I don't like that feeling. I don't like the feeling of just delaying the inevitable. Like, really, I exiled a blue card from my hand, and like all I get is just putting the spell off. Like, it doesn't counter it. Well, I guess counter would be a little too strong because then it would just be like Force of Will, wouldn't it? Actually, I think that would make it almost better than Force of Will. Because at least with Force of Will, you gotta spend one life to do it. But I'm not too wowed by these. It's just that they fit the theme for a deck that I'm thinking of building. Because I love elementals. I've always wanted to make an elemental deck with these guys. And then, of course, they had to go and ban two of them. It was Fury and I think Grief that they banned. Either Grief or Solitude. And, like, whatever. I don't care. I want to build that deck. I really do. I don't care if it's banned in Modern. I just want to do it. Because I think those cards are so cool. I've had the outline typed up on the memo app on my phone for a long time. But, hey, now that you're here, you remember that Sandman thing that I was telling you about? Well, I wanted to check that out on stream. Now, I've watched this... I've already watched it like a dozen times. So this isn't going to be like my first impression or anything. But I've been obsessed lately. So what this is actually from... Okay, I don't remember exactly. It's different things say different things about it. One says it's from 91, one says it's from 92. It's from the guy who animated or directed the animation for The Nightmare Before Christmas. Before Nightmare Before Christmas. And you get to see him sharpen his skills here. His style is very present. And it's only 9 minutes long. This is from... this particular copy is posted by Damien, but there are several versions of it all across YouTube. So I figured we'd check that out. Let me pull this up. Boop. And ooh, that's a little big. Let me scale that down. And the fan is blowing around the curtains and messing it up. But yeah, this has been posted on YouTube several times, so I think it should be okay to check out here. I'll just kind of turn down the volume. It's been a while since I've messed with the volume, so you have to tell me if it's too quiet or too loud. But let's fire this up. Man, already great atmosphere. It's really cool and mysterious, like you almost don't know what you're looking at. Oh, but check out this title card right here, man. Oh. Oh, that's stylish. That's so stylish. I want to watch that again. Hold on a sec. Check that out. That is as good or better than The Thing. Like John Carpenter's The Thing. That's awesome. I love that font. I love the font and I love the effect. Reminds me of that one Klaus Nomi music video. So yeah, this has been on YouTube for a while, but I just discovered it within the past week or within the past few days. Yep, that's some character design right there. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, but if like I love kids. We all love kids. But if my little brat was just marching around the living room, constantly tapping on his little drum, I would throttle that thing. The drum, not the kid. Do not abuse children. But oh golly, just rapping on a drum for minutes on end. He looks like one of the kids. I saw this in the comments. He looks like one of the kids from the Puffs Tissues commercial. Man, that's one brutal looking mama. Look at those cheekbones. Just like. Wow. She reminds me of Toki's mom from Metalocalypse. Those are some vicious pats on the head. Jeez, well, don't cave the kid's skull in. Oh man, this reminds me of the Asylum from Psychonauts. Could this be any more dangerous? This a little kid with an oil lantern going up this poorly lit, creaky, crooked ass stairway. Ooh, love to hear the howling of the wind. Jeez, that's a 5 head. Look at this poor kid. Man, I really hope this isn't copyrighted. YouTube is really funny. Like, I'll never get over that time when someone uploaded their like retro broadcast of Gunsmith Cats and other like sci-fi stuff, Cadillacs and dinosaurs or whatever, and that was fine. But when I showed it on my stream, I got hit with the copyright warning, and I got put in YouTube jail for a little while. It's weird standards. So even though there are like 5 different versions of this same short on YouTube, like I don't know, and some of these are very old. Like this stop motion short has been on YouTube for like almost from the beginning, like 15 years old or something like that. Ooh, I love that perspective. You see the foreground was all blurry there. Wow, what a warm and cozy bedroom. It's freaking blue like Freddy versus Jason out there. No curtains, huh? Yeah, it's a bit of a slow boil at first, but don't worry, it ramps up. I like the forced perspective going on with the like crooked posts on his bed. Because it's almost always shown from above. That kid's got no eyebrows like Pink from Pink Floyd's The Wall. That's funny. I feel like that's a very deliberate character design. Like, he just permanently looks spooked. Ah, here's the man. Look at that character design, man. Holy crap, that is impeccable. He looks so cool. I love the way that, like, here's the thing. Obviously, there's the bit that you saw earlier where, like, his crazy hooked nose and huge chin form the profile of, like, the crescent moon. But then he's also very bird-like. You see how his top is all feathery and whatever. Like, his hair is like feathers, too. And the big hook nose and chin. Not only are they like a crescent moon, but they're also like a beak. The way he's proportioned, he looks like he could be one of the seven hells from Devil May Cry 3. Like, this would be a really cool enemy to fight. I love to see his moveset. The classic contrast, the yellow eyes on his blue body. And this is something very odd about the Sandman. Because you notice he stalks around very sneaky, and he has the ability to just like phase through walls. But then he also does things that are noisy on purpose. Like, he opened the door just to close it, or he intentionally stepped on the creakiest step multiple times, like as loud as he could. It's very odd. I'm not sure what that is. It could be to, like, throw off the people in the house, make them underestimate who's invading their home. Like, they think it's just a normal person, they don't realize it's the Sandman. Or it could be that, like, his hunter's instinct is just so honed that he knows how to make just enough noise to stir people, but not enough to actually rouse them to action. Like, he's trying to get them to give away their position. And I don't know if I have the music turned up loud enough, but the very clear leitmotif that follows the Sandman around everywhere is really nice. Just the unsettling piano. Like, look, right there. Sandman got the kid to give away his position by making him panic. The music is very simple, but it's very effective. And it was crazy. It's crazy to see them use like like old horror cliches, like way back here, like more modern horror cliches. Again, I don't know if the music's loud enough, but the way that it was ramping up, and then it startles you by like cutting to silence all of a sudden. Like, that's something new horror movies do. And this is from back in the early 90s. Oh, that's cool. I love the way they did that. And I love the sound for it, too. Man, look at that silhouette. Oh, music's ramping up a little bit. Yeah, it's really weird. He's doing like little things to try and get the kid to stir from his sleep, like making little noises and stirring up the wind. That noise he makes with his arms is weird. Like he's getting excited. Oh, fatality. And he just beats the crap out of that kid, takes his stuff, and then leaves. What a menace. Man, that looks cool. Love the lighting. Ah, he was a bird. Plot twist. And oh no, what'd he take? Oh, it's his eyeballs. It's like that one episode of Invader Zim, but even worse. And that's it, man. That's the Sandman. Wow. That guy is just... He is not a cool dude. But Paul Berry's cool. Man, that is some good work. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that is really good. Like I said, I've already watched it like a half dozen times. That's super cool. Love the design, the music, the pacing. It's just really solid. I could really go for like something feature length. I don't know. Has there been stop motion horror? Like a feature length stop motion horror? Straight up horror. Not horror comedy like Paranorman or whatever. I don't know. Does Coraline count? Like Coraline's creepy, but I don't know if I would call it horror. It's like horror fantasy. Like, not horror like this Mad God. I thought I heard you mention Mad God once before. Mm. 2021. Never heard of it. I don't know. Should I look up anything about it? Or should I wait for us to watch it? I'm gonna look up a little bit about it. Mad God. Oh, this says 2022. Adult stop motion animated experimental horror film. from Phil Tippett. Completed in 2021. 30 years. Says it was produced over a period of 30 years. Wait, so this started in 91? Okay, well now I'm interested. It only had a budget of $125,000. And unfortunately the box office was only like $330K. Approval rating. Won the audience award at La Tranche Festival. Best feature film animation at the Ray Harryhausen Awards. Okay. That's definitely on the itinerary then. It's hard to really glean what it's about just based on the little poster that they show you here. And I'm not going to read the synopsis or anything. I'll just wait until we check it out someday. Alright. And, yeah. So. Man. Oh, by the way. It's hard to see on stream, maybe impossible, but check this out. I decided to add these to my Final Fantasy VII display. Hold on a sec, let me... Because the video capture device is picking something up for some reason. It's these. It's these little hunks of, I guess, acrylic or whatever. I decided to add these to the FF7 display that I have. Because they just kind of reminded me of the huge materia from that game. So I thought that would be neat. I've also got a purple one somewhere. But I just wanted to use these four because it's like, you know, the four huge materia of red, blue, yellow, green. And there's a little bit of a story to these. When I was in 6th grade, my parents were part of their own little bowling league, like a local bowling league. And so I'm sure you... Or wait, did we go to the same middle school? This was back when they still did periods and not blocks. Instead of 4 blocks, it was 7 periods. And so we had a lot, or I had a lot of homework that kept me just busy on through the evening. It was really brutal. But what my parents decided they would do, instead of just like getting a babysitter over and over, they would just take me with them, and I would bring my homework, and I would just kind of do it in the corner while they and their friends did their little bowling thing. Yeah, well, I know we went to the same high school. That's where we like re-met each other and became like best friends for real, for good. We met in was it sophomore year or junior year? I don't remember, but the deal was they would bowl, I would do my homework, and then when I was finished, I could go over to the arcade and just play games there. And the game that I would play the most is just the crane game, the Candy Crane, I think it was called. And contrary to, the stereotype of crane games, this was actually a very rewarding crane game where you got something almost every time you played it. And usually something really, for definite in the junior year, but usually you got something cheap. It was just like a tiny little handful of candy. But they also had like cheap little toys, just like little spinners or the plastic frogs with a little lever on them. You depress it and then you pop it and it flips out or whatever. Lots of little cheap trinkets like that someone got paid half a cent to make over in China. And among the goodies were these little hunks of acrylic that I think are meant to go in like an aquarium or something. And I couldn't explain why exactly. I just really coveted these. Like once I saw these were up for grabs, I really, really wanted them. Because ever since I was little, I was big into crystals and gems and minerals and stuff. Because I was also really into fantasy, and fantasy, crystals and gems, they have like magic powers and stuff. And so I saw these and they seemed very mystical to me. And I thought it'd be cool if I could collect them all. And as far as I could tell, there were just 5. These 4 here, and then a purple one. And I was very proud of myself for getting these. When I would play with my action figures, these were like the coveted MacGuffins in my little scenarios. These were like the Infinity Stones. And I've just been holding on to them in like a little jar tucked away somewhere in one of these drawers on the shelves. And I was looking for stuff to get rid of, and I thought, I can still use these. And I looked at them a little more, and that's when I realized they look like the huge materia from FF7. And so I thought I would just, put them down there. They've got an odd shape to them. That was the other thing about them was the way they're shaped. It almost looks like they're supposed to come together in some way. I thought maybe if I got them all and I put them together, like, they would turn into something cool. I don't know. They don't. But whatever. Still glad to have them. I'm fond of those old days, but at the same time, I'm really glad that that I'm no longer just inundated with homework. That's the best thing about being an adult, honestly, is just not having homework anymore. Now you just got like chores and grocery shopping and stuff, but it's still better than homework. Man, these are some ugly ass sleeves. Look at that. They got some sort of nasty looking little creature on them. That is not aesthetically pleasing. One of the worst times I had in school, and especially in terms of homework, was 4th grade up in I used to live up in Virginia, and man, like, I don't know if it's still like this, but their school system was brutal. It was really, really rough. Like, they were teaching us stuff in math that I would not be taught again for years and years. Like, they actually really challenged you. Like, I always complain about how, like, our school is too easy on us. I feel like this was too far in the other direction. Because what would happen after I got home from school was I would just do homework. Like, that's it. I was so inundated with homework that it's all I had time to do. I had time to do my homework and bathe and eat and then go to bed. And that was it. And thank goodness I was only caught in that for like 1 or 2 months. After that, we like moved away, and that's when we got to be where we are now, and where I got to meet you. But for those like 2 or 3 months, like it was just a very unfun lifestyle, very oppressive. Even my parents were like, this is not the way we want our little boy to live. We don't want our child, our like 8 or 9 year old child, to just live for labor. So we were all very happy to move away. Mixed feelings about our time in Virginia, because second grade. Second grade was, it wasn't as bad in terms of homework, but it had its own like challenges. The teacher was not very nice. I always remember this really weird incident where I went to the bathroom, and then I came back, and then everybody was just gone. I was like, okay, like they just ditched me, and so like I didn't know what to do. So what I did was I just kind of roamed around the school, unsupervised, no hall pass, no nothing, just looking for where my class went. Out of Virginia Beach. In first grade, it was okay. Second grade, not so much. Third grade was okay. And then fourth grade was horrible. But second grade, like I said, teacher not so helpful, not so kind, not so attentive. And so, like no one thought to tell me where they were going. I roamed all around the halls. At one point, I just left to go outside because I thought maybe they had gone to recess for some reason. In the end, I just went back to the empty classroom and just waited for them to come to me. And what happened was they had gone to the library for some reason. And then they came back, and it's like they completely forgot about me. No one thought to fetch me. No one thought to wait for me. They didn't want to let me know where they were going. They weren't like, hey, when you get out of the bathroom, go to the library. No, nothing. Let me crack open another one of these. I might as well change the text now because, like, we're not doing Sandman anymore. Now this is story time. But the other thing about second grade, what? Just some weird thing flashed on my other screen, whatever. The other thing about second grade was it was the only time that I dealt with a bully, ever. And here's the other weird thing was it was the new kid. That never happens, does it? Like, the new kid is usually the one who gets bullied. But this dude showed up and just... at first he seemed nice. And then, like, within a month, he was picking on me. He could tell that I was really nice and polite. And so he preyed on that. So... things he would do would be like, he would drop his pencil by accident. I would pick it up. Then he would drop it on purpose because he knew that I was just dumb and gullible, and I would pick it up off the floor again. Or he's like air drying his hands in the bathroom. He accidentally flicks me in the face. I tell him to be careful, and then he does it again on purpose. That kind of thing. And he teamed up. This is funny. He teamed up with the scrawny kid and the fat kid. It was very much a Hey Arnold situation where it was like Stinky and Harold and like one other kid, and they were like a troop. and they would just mess with kids. I think they pushed me around in the yard during recess at one point, and I fell over and I like accidentally like scraped my sock on some like raccoon crap or something. Not fresh crap, it was like old stale crap. But you know what? It didn't actually bother me that much. I wasn't like crying or angry, just like annoyed. Just like, just I guess I gotta deal with this when I go to school. But my parents didn't like it, and so this is what happened. They went to a local festival, and they played some game. I don't remember what it was. The point was that one of the prizes was free karate lessons. And I thought, this is our ticket. We win these free karate lessons, and then we teach our kid self-defense, so the next time he gets screwed with by this little threesome, he can like whoop their asses. Did not play out like that. No. In fact, I found that the karate lessons infinitely more annoying than having to deal with the bullies, because it meant these constant weekly or semi-weekly trips to this old, dingy, smelly dojo. It was poorly lit. It was quiet, and it just meant that for like half an hour to an hour, I was stuck doing stuff I didn't want to do, like basically playing dodgeball, except instead of balls, it was like the little cushions that they use for like shields when you're practicing your kicks and punches or whatever. Learning how to do flying kicks, learning how to do your little katas and routines and stuff. It was awful. I wasn't into it at all. They knew that we were that we weren't there to stay, that our time in Virginia was very brief, and so they talked the senseis into fast tracking my progress. So I was able to make it to orange belt pretty quickly, but like I never actually used karate. I never actually used it for self-defense. Like the unfortunate coincidence was, before I could whoop any ass, I think right about the time I started my karate lessons was the time the bullies were getting bored of me. So I never used what I learned, and then after we left, I did not resume my karate lessons at all. I didn't practice. I didn't go and find another dojo. So like everything that I learned, I just forgot, because I never wanted to learn it in the first place. It was just something where my parents thought they were helping me, and no. But you know, it makes a funny little story now. Man. And it was cringe too. I didn't like that not only was I stuck doing a bunch of karate training that I didn't want to do, but you also knew that on the other side of the like one-sided mirror, your parents were watching you fail horribly. It was tough. Ironic, really. I mean, I'm a streamer now, but back then I did not like being watched at all. I did not like that feeling when there was like a school play or a school musical or whatever. I did not like being forced into that crap at all. That was always my least favorite thing. I mean, that's part of why I never got into sports. I mean, another reason was that I don't know. It just didn't make sense to me. Just a lot of rules for me to memorize that I could never possibly do that. I'm not a sports guy. Like, even when video games try to become like sports with esports, like, I don't give a crap. I didn't like performing on stage as a kid either. Didn't get my showmanship personality until my later teen years. I feel like maybe a lot of kids are like that. It's hard to find kids who are extroverts. Honestly, even now. Like, I'm late to almost every stream that I do. It's almost always because I have to spend like 1 or 2 minutes like psyching myself up because I still get stage fright. Well, that, and I also procrastinate. I don't prepare for streams like I should. The last 1 or 2 minutes before my stream started, it was just a whirlwind of getting everything set up. I almost forgot to even like turn on my streamer lighting or my decorative lighting back here. I forgot to turn on my my little displays here. Too individualistic for team sports. Most teamwork I do is playing City of Heroes. And even then, I tend to be like really, really quiet and very like chronically overwhelmed. I need a lot of direction. It's hard for me to take direction. Or to like, it's hard for me to take a leadership role. I will out of necessity. But if it's something really complex, like the big thing that I'm trying to do right now that I have been unsuccessful in for like 1 or 2 years at this point was they recently added this challenge mode where they took like some old team content and they like punched it up with like bigger stats and special encounters and whatever, and for the first time ever I'm just getting flattened, like, because not only is it extremely difficult, there's also a very specific way that you have to do it. And I've had no success for months or years. It doesn't help that it's not very popular. A lot of people don't want to do it just because it is so frustrating. But I'm a completionist. I've gotten every badge in that game. I collected all the vanity pets. I'm trying to collect all the prestige costumes. Very, very slow and grindy. Not a big fan of that, but like, I don't know. I just feel compelled. Like, I'm kind of obsessed, really. I'm obsessed with the idea of creating the perfect character who has everything. And so it falls, because it's not very popular, it falls on me to put the team together, but I count on someone else to actually lead the team once it's in full swing, you know? And that's awkward. It's awkward to ask for other people to show up, but then you need someone else to lead you. It's very complex. It's a lot of steps. Like one of them is it's this mission, right, where you're supposed to save these 6 psychics that have been taken captive. But to do the challenge run, you have to intentionally avoid saving them, which is actually way, way more difficult. You know, because now you're scared to get into any kind of scuffle at all because you're dealing with these huge mobs, right? What if in the middle of that mob there's a psychic that's being like, you didn't notice that there was a hostage there, and then you beat everyone up, and then you saved them by accident. You ruined the entire run. It also doesn't help that at some point you pick up a friendly NPC who is a superhero, and they help you fight, which really just means that they're aggro to the max, and they'll get into these ridiculous scuffles. And yeah, it goes how you expect. At one point, the NPC goes and liberates one of the psychics of their own accord and ruins the run for us. It's rough. I honestly feel like that whole thing could spend a little more time in the oven. I feel like they need another go at designing that little challenge run, because it is not designed in a way that's elegant or even comprehensible. There are just so many little steps and specifics to it. It reminds me of the requirements to get endings on Dynasty Warriors 4. Yeah, it's tough. It is really, really tough. They tried too hard. They tried way too hard to make it difficult. And so it is this overcooked, over-engineered encounter. Because the lead-up is you fight this big guy called Omega Kong. And it's a special encounter where he fights in tandem with another guy called Dragon. And they've just got so many gimmicks. You know Monsoon, right? From Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. How he just hits that perfect balance of having enough quirks to be stimulating without being overly gimmicky. You know how hard it is to get less than 200 kills on a stage? That ooh, that sounds bad. That sounds really bad. But yeah, it's this really over-engineered fight where Kong and Dragon, they have shared HP, and there's some trick to lowering their health. I don't even remember what it was. We never really... I'm not sure we ever figured out which is better, if you're supposed to attack Kong, or if you're supposed to attack Dragon, or if you're supposed to attack both of them at the same time, if you're supposed to take turns attacking one and then the other. We struggled to find their windows of opportunity. And in the middle of that, the game just keeps throwing stuff at you, like, oh, while you're fighting these dudes, there's also these little critters, these little ankle biters that file into the room, and you got to deal with them, because if too many of them spawn, then you automatically lose. But also, when you beat them, they leave behind this awful little, like, lethal fart cloud that lingers and constantly deals damage. And so it's this shifting battlefield of trying to get away from the deathly farts while you try and beat up these two guys in tandem. And on top of that, every once in a while, they spawn these four little things that make the bad guy invincible. And the four thingies, they have their own guards that you have to fight. And at certain health thresholds, the bosses will change behaviors. One of the bad guys will stand in a corner and will emit like a death field that takes over 1/4 of the room. At other thresholds, ambushes will come in and get you. At one point, it's like these big dudes that are, they're like giant robots, and then when you beat them, the same way that the little dudes blow up in like little clouds of fart gas, these guys blow up in gigantic, like 50-foot wide no fun zones where you're just caught in a constant hail of status ailments. At another point, a bunch of wizards are supposed to follow him. We didn't even get that far. We've only read about it in stories and lore and myth and ghost stories. Like, there are phases of this boss fight that we've only heard of. We haven't gotten to them. It's so painful because the thing that you get for beating this is called the Excalibonk. It's like this really big, epic, glowing rainbow sword. And it's really awesome looking, but then you use it and it only does 1 damage. So it's purely cosmetic, but I so covet that item. And it so pains me when I see other people have it. I'm like, how did you get this? How did you do it? What's the trick? What is it? And like, I don't know what it is. They just can't tell you. Like I don't know. Is it a secret, or they just are not eloquent enough to actually like break it down step by step? It's always just dumb, basic advice like, oh well, you need your debuffs and your buffs and like no, specifically break it down for me, beat for beat. What did you do? How did you do it? What powers did you use? What equipment did you have? What do you do to make this winnable? Oni Spirits Mode and Oni Musha 1, like, I don't know. It feels a lot worse than that, honestly. It's just such a 182. It's such a massive ramp in difficulty. Most of City of Heroes is super duper easy. This is not easy at all. You managed to beat it once, and then promise yourself you'd never do it again. Well, the reward is ultimate mode, right? Where you like get 30 free medicine and all your weapons are maxed out, and you get the Bishamon sword that just has infinite magic. Man, what a ball buster, right? Like, it was already difficult enough picking up the, what was it, like 20 or 30 fluoride hidden throughout the game. But then you also got to beat this asinine minigame. Yeah, no, not for me. In fact, I've never beaten any of the minigames. I tried the Onimusha Souls 1 and 3. I've never tried the 1 and 2. Blitzing through the game with the Bishamon sword does sound cool. But, nah. No, that minigame is not fun. But you will 100%. Have you done it already? I still have. Where is it? I've got it tucked away somewhere. Let me excavate it over here. I still have. It's pretty beat up now, but I still have the paperback Onimusha 2 guide, and buried somewhere in here, there should be a table that breaks down beat for beat which characters like which gifts. It gives you a list of like every freaking item for one. Every gift, every weapon, every key item. Man, it's crazy. There's like over 100 gifts in this game. Yeah, there it is. When I can see, I even made like little notes to help me. Like, I've made little scratches here. Yeah. You owe it to Onimusha 2. You know what? That's how I felt about We Live Katamari. Like, that's the best game I've ever played. Like, just in terms of overall quality, like, it's the best all-rounder. It feels like the most polished game. And I heard that they remastered it for the Switch. If so, I've definitely got to check that out. Because the one... okay. Not the one flaw. There were two flaws. The level with the... where you got to start the campfire, that level just sucked outright. But the one really egregious, persistent flaw was the mid-level loading. Like... the thing about that game is that you are literally on a roll, right? And then right in the middle of your roll, it's got to have loading where the king interrupts what you're doing and he starts running his mouth like, fucking dude, come on. So yeah, if the Switch version has figured out how to get rid of that, like, I'm sure there are some Katamari fans who will probably be sentimental about that. They're like, oh, I miss when the king would talk to you in the middle of the level. Like, not me. Like, get rid of that. Like, if they found out how to get rid of that for the Switch version, that is, like, the most perfect game in the world. That's like a 99% perfect game. I know that's an oxymoron. Like, there is no partial credit. You're either perfect or you're imperfect. But they're like, that's really as close to perfect as I've gotten in a game. That's really good. And so, after you collect everything, like all the cousins and all the gifts and whatever, you get the final mission that says you got to roll up 1,000,000 red roses. I got pretty far. No, I didn't. I like to think that I got far, but I rolled up like 100,000 red roses, something like that, over the course of hours. I gotta look up like a speedrunning strat for that because that is really excruciating. But I just love We Heart Katamari so much that again, I just feel compelled. I'm spellbound. I'm enraptured by this game. I feel like I want to do it just because I love the game so much. But I was getting burnt out, and so I said I would just go on hiatus. And I mean, look where we are now. It must be like 10 years later, and I still haven't come back to that game. Now it's been remastered. I'd have to start over from scratch. Yeah, it'd be nice. That would be like, that's almost like a subathon thing. Like, if I was going to do a subathon, I would do it where I would try and roll up 1,000,000 red roses. I might need some help with that, though. Like, just to keep my sanity. I don't know if I could stand rolling up 1,000,000 red roses in a row. At some point, I would start to break inside. I even tried switching it up where each run, I'd be like, let me pick a different cousin, or let me change the music. And it was not enough. It was not enough to sustain my spirit. Yeah, this is in-depth. Multiple pages of breaking down what gifts to give to what people. I should really go through this and just pen my I need to pen my own little guide for what gifts to give to what characters. Because this, I mean, just look at it. Your eyes would glaze over looking at this. This is a really cool paperback guide, though. So if you ever need to borrow it, hey, it's right here. In passable condition. I definitely had worse. Oh boy. This part's falling apart, though. Oh yeah, because here's the thing. It's the sealed section. It's the one where they didn't want to spoil the game, so they glued the last few pages together. Absolutely bizarre behavior, but whatever. This isn't even the only guide I've got that's like that. I've got 3 different guides where they cared about not spoiling the game. Because my Final Fantasy VII guide and my Kingdom Hearts guide, they don't show you what the final bosses look like. Oh, you beat We Heart Cardboard Roll before me? Oh. Well, I've got some games to trade in. Maybe I can get some trade-in value and then I can afford a Switch. But I've barely even torn into my Wii U. Once I get my console streaming situation figured out, I really want to stream the games that I got on that during the eShop panic when the eShop was closing down, and I just bought as much as I could. Like, that got me to go out and get a Wii U and then pack it full of games. So I've got Twilight Princess and the Metroid Prime trilogy. I've got the digital versions of those games packed onto this Wii U. I've got to figure out my console streaming situation. But before I do that, I got to figure out this... Because where is it? I've still got my my copy of Windows 11 here, and I've got a new hard drive right here. I've got to get all that set up. But before that, I've got to try and preserve all the stuff that I've got saved here. I've got to make notes on all my settings or whatever. I've got to transfer all of my assets, right? You know, not just all my funny, like, meme pictures and stuff, but, like, all my music and assets for the channel, you know, overlays and videos and recordings and stuff, sound bites. I've got to get my bookmarks in order, all that stuff. Hopefully I can do that over the course of this next week. Because, you know, like the title of the stream says, this is the start of my spring break. So, for anyone who doesn't know, I work in education. And we're in the middle of our spring break right now. Well, not in the middle, it just started. And it's been a long time coming. I really, really needed this break. Because I've just been getting comboed by life. Too much stuff. Too many jobs and obligations and chores. I'm gonna try and just keep it chill and just do me for the next 6 days. Because I looked and I already know that there's supposed to be another One Piece chapter next Sunday. So we'll stream then. But Monday through Saturday, it's going to be just me. I hope. I really hope. That because too many times the rug has just been pulled out from under me where I think I've got time off and then someone comes and gives me the bad news like, oh, actually, you got to come in and do this thing. Oh, actually, you're supposed to be here and blah, blah, blah. You gotta... Okay, my second monitor just turned off for some reason. I think it's getting tired of me complaining. New job? It's complicated. I won't say too much about it on stream. But just, yeah, we stay busy. Especially with all this going on. I haven't even got my nebulizer on. I'm supposed to be sucking down on this like I try to suck down on it 2 times a day. And I've really been skipping out on it. It's got I loaded up with these little tubes of science, whatever. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's actually a pretty strong stimulant. It's supposed to help me cough up all this crap, but it also kind of gives me the jitters. Stuff. You know what also makes it tough? The idea that you're supposed to, breathe in this stuff, but then it's hard to breathe out because, well, you got this jammed in your mouth, and then you've also got stuffy nose, so you can't breathe out through your nose. Yeah. We've been dealing with a lot of stuff. It's also annoying because, I've got all these prescriptions that I'm on, And they all have their special timing where it's like, take this with your meal. Take this on an empty stomach. Oh, you can only take this. This makes you drowsy, but it also says you got to take it 3 times a day. Let me think. There was another one where it's like you can't have milk an hour before or after you take this. I don't even remember which one that is. It's just, I've got a fistful of pills that I've got to take over and over and over again, multiple times a day. And it was extra bad in the beginning because it felt like the pills were kicking my ass just as much as the illness. Like I've got just like a belly full of medication just swimming around. And I was getting a serious stomach ache. Just trying to choke down this crap. I mean, these are literally very bitter pills to swallow. They're all chalky and... ugh. Like, you ever get the bitterness that's so bad, like it gives you chills? Like you're vibrating with disgust? It's awful. It's awful, and it's so bitter that the flavor doesn't go away. For like 5 or 10 minutes, you still got that taste lingering on your tongue and giving you the chills. Bad. So yeah, like I was saying to you before, full transparency, I've been having a lot of trouble figuring out what to stream about, because I've just been so caught up in trying to fight this disease that I haven't had a lot of time to figure out what to do for this stream. So I'm sorry to do this. This has become like my desperation move for when I don't know what to do. But I honestly think I'm just going to play Bloons Tower Defense 5 again. This is going to be the 3rd time. No. No. Shush. What was that? This game's supposed to be muted. I want to hear all the little chirps and bleeps and bloops from this game. Alright, let's get back to this. Let's blow this back up. Full screen. Blam. Yeah, it does say guest. I have been playing as guest. Just because I don't want to bother to reach into my files and pull out my the details for my profile. I can't remember how to log in. I don't even know if you can log in because this is the archive version. Like, this is the Flash version of the game. So, I don't know. What should we play this time? I haven't done this on hard mode. Bam. So, Jaren, do you remember this game at all? Bloons Tower Defense? I used to play this a lot in high school. I said this before on stream, but like back in my high school days, you know, the height of Flash games, I used to throw down mightily on the OG Bloons Tower Defense. Just listening to We Are All on Drugs by Weezer. Just getting down to all the latest, like, alt rock and emo hits. Watching AMVs on YouTube. That kind of thing. And, you know, those were the good old days, back when there was only like 5 different tower types. I actually recently fired up the the OG BTD. Because a few streams ago, we just did like a Bloons marathon where it was just all five, the first 5 Bloons Tower Defense back to back to back. Because every once in a while, like, I don't know if you got games like this, but every once in a while I just get the fever. And I feel like I gotta get my dose again. Like, it usually happens, I don't know, once every, like, 1 to 3 years. I'm just like, I gotta get my fix, man. I gotta get my balloons on. And so, I decided I would do that for stream. The first one is super fun. 2 and 3, it kind of fell off. 4 is pretty good, but 5 is really solid, and I've been playing that a lot. Honestly, more than City of Heroes at this point. I've kind of started to get burnt out trying to grind out like prestige costumes and stuff. It's also been a while since their last update. Like, not a lot of new content going on lately. It's March 30th now though, so they're probably going to be firing up their April Fool's event soon, if they haven't already. And that's really good. That's like a huge boon to new characters, because they've got like these big like raid events going on that just pour huge amounts of XP and influence into your characters. And it's a great way to launch a new character. Like, you'll go from level 1 to level 25 really fast, and that's the plan. Because now I'm so into the grind that I'm planning my character development across the entire year. So the idea right now is to get my characters up to level 25 so that they can then participate in the trick-or-treat events in the coming Halloween, so that they can get more stuff, because it's like level 25 minimum to be able to redeem the rewards on that. And I forgot to buy the Moored Bananas thing. That's Zone of the Enders 2 for you? Well, sorry, I got a lot of sniffling going on. I'm sure that's very attractive. I'm sure that's what a lot of people came to stream to see, is just seeing some nasty, sick dude just constantly snorting. But yeah, that's a lot of games for me. I was spoiled, honestly. That was not good. Not good. That's always the thing, is finding out the timing. Because you gotta spend your money on these banana farms to make sure you have enough money to do good later. But if you spend too much money just on the farms, like if you try to ramp up too soon, then you won't have money to do good in the early stages. So it's a very careful balancing act. But yeah, like I was saying, I'm pretty happy with the games that I grew up with. Because the games that... like, I grew up with some really good games, and the games that I love, I'm content to just play over and over and over again. Like, I don't even know how many dozens of times I've beaten Onimusha 1, 1, 2, and 3. Especially 1, though. Beautiful Joe 1 and 2, beaten those a ridiculous number of times. Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 10, especially Final Fantasy 7. I used to play that on an almost yearly basis. And then the remake came out, and it just kind of put kind of a sour taste in my mouth. Uh-oh. Oh, nope, he's got it. It's crazy to see the power creep in this game, because you go back to the old Bloons Tower Defense, And towers were so rudimentary. They just had 2 upgrades and that was it. Like 2 for each of 5 tower types. It was just the dart monkeys, the tack shooters, the bombs, the ice towers, and the super monkeys. That was it. And they had 2 upgrades each, and you had to have this huge network of towers working in tandem to handle these balloons. Now, like, towers have ramped to the point where this one guy, this one ninja monkey, is holding this whole operation together with all these crazy like skill trees and such. You never did get the... No, that doesn't sound right. We definitely got the bouquet to OU, didn't we? Like, that was the whole point. We went on, like, that huge mad dash. And it was, like, the first time ever that we actually got the bouquet to OU. If I recall correctly, what you had to do was you had to basically just skip almost every encounter. You have to run past everyone, because if you don't, then it dries out and you get the wither bouquet, and only Magoichi is interested in the wither bouquet because he uses it in like kindling that he'll stuff into his little like ancient rifle. Oh, not on your own? Yeah. Well, that game's got a lot going on. It's weird. It's honestly really weird. The way that it's kind of open world, but kind of not. Okay, this guy could use a little support now. It's coming up on round 28 anyway, so I've got to get this dude out. I'm so glad I watched that video that lets you know how powerful the lightning magic is. Like, I don't know why I needed a reminder, because I think like lightning abilities in any game are just awesome. But yeah, lightning in this is really good because it covers a lot of different balloon types. Like, it cuts through lead balloons, it cuts through black balloons and white balloons. Like, as I understand it, in BTD 6, which we have not played yet, they introduced purple balloons that are immune to... They're like Doc Ock's tentacles in Spider-Man 2. They're immune to heat and magnetism. So that was their way of balancing it out, because as it is, stuff like Lightning Bolt and Ring of Fire just cuts through everything. Like, look at that. That is solid crowd control right there. Like, talk about your power creep. By this point in the original BTD, I would need like 10, 20 towers to do what these 2 towers can do by themselves. It has the most replay value out of the trilogy. Well, that was kind of the idea, right? Was that it had the branching paths, and you could never do it all in one playthrough. I never 100%ed that game either. I was able to get all the bones, all the like ancient fossilized bones or whatever they're called, and then you get the black vest that you spend life to make all your hits critical. But I didn't actually use it that much. I just kind of kept it tucked in my back pocket, and then I pulled it out against Nobunaga just for fun. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It works like you'd think it would. High risk, high reward. You laugh so hard at that watching, because it's BS, man. It's BS. It's like electromagnetism, one of the 4 universal forces that governs everything, and you just casually made a material that is just immune to it. That's nuts, man. And the more I think about it, the more I think to myself, okay, you made a material that is impervious to heat and magnetism, and you developed this incredibly advanced seamless prosthetic that just interfaces directly with your central nervous system. And so now, not only do you have these super articulated limbs, but you've also vastly increased your degree of vision, because all of those arms also have cameras on them, and you can see through all of them without going insane, because you've also got this like assistant AI that like that expands your brain function to accommodate for all these new like artificial sensory organs and appendages and stuff. With all of that going on, the whole it's nuclear fusion, both extra steps, doesn't that kind of feel secondary to the like miracle metal that's impervious to electromagnetism and the super revolutionary prosthetics technology that you've created? Like that should get you the Nobel Peace Prize, not your like miniature sun that is extremely unstable and dangerous and consumes everything around it and explodes. Like everything that you've created leading up to the coup de grace, the like miniature sun, infinitely more impressive than the miniature sun. Of course, then it turns out that it's not immune to heat and magnetism. Doc Ock gets fried in that movie all the time. Like what was he like accidentally sticks his big like spiky thing into a cable and it electrocutes him? Why does he got a big spiky thing anyway? Like, what was the point of that? I thought the whole point of the tentacles was like it helps him do the crazy like nuclear experiment thing. You see him reach out with the tentacles and like he contains the little solar flares that are coming out. But then he's just got like this big evil spike weapon. Is that supposed to be like the charger? Is that why it's not immune to heat and magnetism? You like use that to plug into the wall or whatever? Like, what practical purpose was that supposed to have? Like, and if that's the charger, why has it got to be like a big evil spike? Like, what's up with that? That seems weird. And of course, the big question is, so you've got this little like microchip, like way up here, that is like the thing that keeps the AI in check so that you don't go insane. Why did you not cover that with the same miracle metal that's impervious to heat and magnetism? Why is that just freeballing it out there? And then it gets fried by the big epic solar flare, and then you act surprised about it. Like, that was the most important part of the whole rig, and it doesn't have any magnetic shielding on it. Cool move. What, did you just run out? Did you run out of your unobtainium? Oh, stupid. That's always the problem with fiction, isn't it? It's the geniuses that are always the stupidest characters. And I should have bought another farm. Yeah, we're still rocking it with just these two towers. They're doing pretty good. We're past round 32 now. Yeah, I freaking love Spider-Man 1 and 2. Those are still my favorite superhero movies. With Spider-Man 2 maybe being just a little bit better than the first one. But I will never pretend that those are perfect movies. They always got little quirks to them. Like, I was thinking about this just last week, you know, one of those shower thoughts. Like, you know, Doc Ock, he had this thing like, welded to his body by like this crazy surge of like solar heat or whatever. And so you look at him and the like weird metallic like band connecting it to his gut, like the skin and flesh is all singed. And then and then that's just the way he rocks for the rest of the movie, right? He's like skulking around New York's. This is getting kind of rough. This is getting kind of bad. So he's got these horrible burn wounds on his midsection, and he's just rocking around dirty ass New York City, and going to his secret lair in this old nasty rusty abandoned pier. How does he not have horrible flesh eating infections in his burn wounds? All right, let's see what we can do to fix this up. I'm gonna get this. There we go. It's getting to round 42, so I gotta invest in some anti-camo stuff. And I gotta get a glue gunner at some point. Hello? Glue gunner, yes, thank you. And send him to strong. These three right here, ninja, wizard, glue gunner, this is the trifecta. This is how I open a lot of my games. It's these three dudes. This is like your Thor, your Iron Man, and your Captain America. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. More of them are starting to get out. I gotta get this. There we go. And another one of these. Why not? I'm not even really paying attention to this game anymore because now I'm just thinking about all the dumb stuff in the Spider-Man movies. Like, again, I love them, but it's like... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. It's good. It's good. Oof. Okay, I'll get this. And this. And this. And there you go. We're good. Like, again, love those movies, but why can't anyone figure out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? Like, that scene... So, let's just, like, break this down for a second, okay? So, he's the only person that Spider-Man will talk to, right? For some reason. Nobody knows why. But Peter's the only person who has any connection to Spider-Man. He's the only person Spider-Man will let take pictures of him. And he's able to take these pictures that are literally physically impossible to achieve. Unless you did indeed happen to be Spider-Man. And no one really knows why Spider-Man's willing to let Peter take pictures of him. That only really seems to benefit Peter. The only reason it would make sense is if they were the same person. Or what if, you know, anyone got the idea to, like, see if there was any kind of paper trail leading from, you know, the big underground wrestling event with Bonesaw. They might have picked up on the fact that a guy who called himself Spider-Man, who dressed in red and blue like Spider-Man, showed up at that wrestling event. Like, he had to have signed a piece of paper somewhere, right? Like, they don't want to talk to any witnesses about the guy who is in the wrestling ring crawling around like a spider. I don't know. I felt like that was a really strong lead that they should have looked into a little bit more. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I always... This... Not always, but this is the second time I've done this where I've screwed up and I didn't leave enough room to squeeze in another banana farm here. So let's do that again. And when you sell and rebuy, you always lose money, so I screwed myself over there. Okay, now let's do it. And that's round 42. They always, like, the game warns you multiple times that round 42 is going to be super scary. And so I always over-prepare, and so round 42 becomes extremely unscary. Because I get the radar scanner, and then I get my trifecta here, and then we just have it under control. Yep, we're dominating. I mean, I know this is a beginner track, but yeah. I'll put this guy over here. And I know this is silly because I'm just using this village to, like, make upgrades on my farms cheaper. Like, it's not being used for combat at all. But I like getting the range upgrade, because then when I try and put another farm here, it helps me know when it's in range, because you see the range get bigger. It's actually... I'm actually going to need to upgrade that, because the more you upgrade it, the more the range on the village increases. And right now it's too small. Like, I can't put another farm here and get the discount on the upgrades. I can do it. I might be able... Nope. Nope. Whatever. Now I gotta start saving up for my bomb towers. Like the big sisters from BioShock 2? I don't remember. What do you mean? There we go. And squeeze another one right there. And I gotta remember to set these to strong. It almost always feels like you want to set everything to strong. The original plan was you weren't supposed to be ready for them because they show up at random. That's kind of a cool idea. Keeping you on your toes. But other than the first few encounters, they only show up once all the little sisters are taken care of. Let's see. What now? What now? I can get this. It's on hard mode. We got like another 40 rounds to go, huh? Let's see, what should I get now? Should start getting these. Because these guys, they got figured out. They can rock for a while, I think. I should get this, though. And this. Yeah, these three guys and then the Monkey Village, that's like the Elite Four right there. The best version of Pursuer Enemy. Original Nemesis and Mr. X in the Resident Evil 2 remake. Specifically the remake? What's different about him? Because I remember in Resident Evil 2, he was like the forerunner to Nemesis. Like the more famous Nemesis. Nemesis, I think, is the first person people think of when they think of, like, a persistent enemy that's just always on top of you all the time. That chases you down through different rooms. In the original, he was scripted. Oh, in the remake, he's not? Okay. Now, that does sound scary. In the remake, he's just... Woof. That's rough. Speaking of pursuer enemies, have you ever played... Okay, before I ask this question, I'll just ask, have you ever played any Metroid games? But do I have RE2 somewhere? Oh, I mean, I have my physical copy now. You know, because that was one of the things left to me by my late uncle. But I was just wondering if I have the digital copy, because I still have Resident Evil Director's Cut saved on my PS3. I've never dug into it. I should really crack into those games at one point. It's very ironic that I played a lot of games that used the Ari model as a skeleton, like Onimusha and Devil May Cry, but I've never actually played a Resident Evil game. I'm really going to have to dig into those. And I'm one of those people who prefers to play the original before playing the remake, just to have the context, you know. I'm also always very, very wary, you know, very untrusting of. I should scoot this over so I'm not covering my face. I'm always untrusting of remakes, remasters, or whatever. Because you know how overly political games are now. You never know what they're going to change. What's going to be considered just inappropriate or unacceptable now. You want to... Oh, this one isn't getting the discount. Okay, let me try and make this bigger. I think this... Okay, yes. Now it's getting the discount. And now it's big enough that I can put another farm here. But maybe I should invest in some stronger glue now. I don't know. Well, let me try and squeeze in another farm right here. Oh, wait. What if I do it like this? What if I do this? And then can I squeeze in another one here? No. And now it's not aesthetically pleasing. As petty as it is, I'm actually going to waste money just to get it in line with the rest of the grid. You've watched a ton of walkthroughs, but you've never beaten any of the originals? Well, here's the thing, right? The original Metroid sucks. Like, just straight up sucks. Because Metroid Zero Mission, one of the things that you get for beating the game is you unlock the ability to just play the original Metroid. Is terrible. It is absolutely terrible. It's hard to believe that that game made this whole huge franchise. That was the genesis, because it is so scuffed. Your control is so poor in that game. You can only fire in, I think, 4 directions, maybe even less. I can't remember if you can shoot down or not. I think it might only be 3 directions. But enemies, they can fire any direction that they want, come at you from any direction they want. It's so strict, and your character Your character is simultaneously heavy and light. There's just way too much momentum to them. And there's also really dumb quirks. I think there might actually be a bit of fall damage in that game. I don't remember. I know that your somersaults will just peter out after you've been falling too long, and that can screw up some of your jumps. There's no ledge grabbing of any kind, which, maybe I've just been spoiled by playing latter-day Metroid games, but, come on. Why can't my character lift their own weight? Well, they're supposed to be like this badass space bounty hunter, right? So that sucks. And for some reason, the game doesn't start you out with full health. Like, you've started out and you've already taken damage. Like, what's up with that? That's not fair. And even if you start from a password, you're at, the minimum level of health. You would have to grind for health every time you start over from a password. So, if I was ever going to play that game again, I would have to cheat. I would have to look up the password that just gives you, everything. Full health, max missiles, max everything. Level design sucks. Minimal landmarks, if any. It's easy to get lost. The first time I played that game, I thought the level was just looping, because it just looks like the same thing, the same arrangement of platforms over and over and over again. Boss fights are scuffed. They come down to a lot of brute force. Let's see. I'm gonna save up and get this super glue now. I'm actually surprised it isn't just called super glue. Oh, come on. I still can't afford it. Screw you. There we go. Now I got my balloon dissolver going, and these guys are just getting destroyed. Yeah, that was tough. Not a big fan of the first Metroid. Metroid Zero Mission is way better, which, if you didn't know, Metroid Zero Mission is... It's not a remake, per se. In the same way that Final Fantasy VII Remake is not a remake. It's a remake until it's not a remake. It's like Final Fantasy VII Remake done right, where a lot of it is the same scenario, but then they add on other stuff. It's like but then it's also not a reboot, because it's still part of the same continuity. It's just like a redo. Because then after you beat the initial scenario, they add an extra level that's a stealth level, and then another level after that with new upgrades and new encounters and stuff. Evil Dead 2. See, I haven't played, or not played. I haven't watched Evil Dead, so I don't know. Or it's you know how Godzilla 84 or whatever, it's a sequel, but it's a sequel to the very first Godzilla. So it's almost like a branching timeline. This is almost this is more like the opposite of that. It's a single timeline, but with two different origins. It's weird. It's weird, but it is good, and just so many improvements. Obviously, it looks a lot better. Samus doesn't have a giant strawberry head anymore, but she controls better. When she somersaults, you just have way more control over her. Her somersaults don't run out. There's ledge grabbing, although the ledge grabbing is an optional upgrade. So if you want the old way, for whatever reason, you can skip the ledge grabbing and just play it the old-fashioned way. You have 8-way aiming. Obviously, it has actual save points, no more passwords. It's just better. And then Evil Dead 2 is kind of Evil Dead 2 is kind of a redo of Evil Dead 1. But it's called Evil Dead 2? That sounds confusing. That would trip me up. Like a lot. But, yeah. And I also played Metroid 2 for... What was that for? Was that for the Game Boy Color? That game was whack, but at least I could beat it. I needed a map. And I needed a lot of saves coming. It's weird, but it's so damn good. I was planning on watching those at some point. Metroid 2 was annoying because their idea of making the game more difficult was to not only add tougher enemies, it was also to make save points less frequent. So the penultimate level where you've got to fight 3 Omega Metroids, the way it broke down was I would fight 1 Omega Metroid, then I would be down to like 25% health, then I would take the 5-minute round trip all the way back to the beginning of the level, down through to the save point, then go back, then fight another Omega Metroid, and then do it again. 2 more times. It's where Bruce Campbell's Ash Williams becomes Ash Williams. Interesting. It reminds me of when I watched Linkara's Secret Origins Month episode on Deadpool, and the earliest iteration of Deadpool is not at all like Deadpool. It's just your typical Image Comics like grim, angsty, mercenary type guy. And it took a while for Deadpool to become himself. To become the iconic version of himself that everybody loves. I'm getting distracted. What am I doing here? I've just been idly clicking on these towers and not actually doing anything. So let's we'll get that. And then another one of these. Yeah, what round are we on? These towers are still good. So let me bump this up. Let's fire up another round. Yeah, dang it, I'm already out of drink. Thankfully, I still have some water here. But, yeah. It also... Metroid 2 introduced the space jump, but it was very scuffed in how it controlled. I remember spending like 10 minutes just trying to get to the last level because it's this big empty room where you have to space jump all the way up. And the controls were so broken, I must have spent 10 minutes just trying to jump. So that was dumb. And no, I have not played the remake that came out for, I think that was for the Switch, because I was so bitter over how the whole controversy over how a fan had worked very, very hard on their own Metroid 2 remake. It was called AM2R, short for Another Metroid 2 Remake, because I guess there are a lot of different Metroid 2 remakes floating out there. And they got C&D'd. After many years of working on this project for free, just as a hobby, they got C&D'd. And I'm pretty sure the game is still floating out there. Because it was, it was just freeware. No protection of any kind. Like, if you've got this game, you've basically got the freedom to copy and paste it as many times as you want. So I'm pretty sure you can still play it. But, like, that was messed up. That was a bad way to treat fans. I don't know what it is with Nintendo, but they just... It's weird. They're a video game company, and they're the ones who said video games are supposed to be fun. If they're not fun, what's the point? That's what Reggie said. But then they have these very anti-fun practices. Like... no, you're not allowed to sell these custom Joy-Cons as part of a charity because, you know, of what happened to Etika. You're not allowed to do that. You're not... They also shut down, like Smash tournaments or, like, courses to teach you how to teach or how to play Smash professionally. Dumb stuff. And then they, right after they see indeed that guy's fan-made Metroid 2, that's when they announced their own Metroid 2 remake. And it just felt wrong. It did. Okay, it's coming up on round 63, and round 63 is kind of a ball buster, so I gotta start actually thinking about what I want to do to not get destroyed. What can I do? I can save up for the high energy beacon. I still got one more round to try and save some money. So I was just salty about that, so I didn't play the Metroid 2 remake. But I do have the digital version of Super Metroid on my new 3DS. And that's a blast. Very atmospheric, very rich in content, very fun to play. A little overrated, though. There are some quirky bits to it. But still awesome. And then Metroid Fusion. Which, the irony of Metroid Fusion is that that's the first Metroid game I ever played. But for the longest time, that was the last one in the timeline. I just saw the commercials for it, and it looked so awesome. And that's what this has been building up to. Because you mentioned pursuer enemies, right? That game has a really good pursuer type enemy. Although it is scripted, and smart players have figured out how to, like, mess with the AI and basically pull pranks on it. But the first time you play it, it's absolutely terrifying. Like, oh my gosh, there's this completely overpowered enemy that chases you down. Like all of a sudden it's a survival horror game where you gotta flee from your life from this unbeatable enemy. Like, that was awesome. Really good. Maybe a little too much for my, like, 12-year-old brain, though, because I remember not being able to make progress in that game at all. And I had to resort to cheats, you know, the action replay or the Game Shark or whatever, and then it just corrupted the game to where I couldn't beat it anyway. At some point, I made up my mind to beat that game legit. And I figured out how to actually play it and not just brute force it. And yeah, that game's a blast. Okay, it's round 63. Let me think. What can I do to not get obliterated? Because I might be able to make it, but I want to be sure. Round 63 can be really rough. I want to try and build the monkey temple, so I should probably start setting that stuff up. I've actually tried it once before, and I accidentally screwed it up. So I'll get some more wizards. There, you can't even see them. It's a good thing they highlight when you scroll over them, because otherwise, like, you can't tell that guy's there. He's like John Cena. You can't see him. Okay, I'll get those guys, and I'll get a couple more glue gunners. And I'll leave these guys. I'll do this guy. He'll prioritize close, and then this guy will target the first balloon. And there you go. This should do it. There's some dispute over which Metroid is best. People tend to go back and forth between 3 and 4. And I can understand arguments for both. Because 4, I think, is a little more polished in how it handles. But it's also, like, more guided and linear and story heavy than your average Metroid. Whereas Metroid 3, it's more of your typical Metroid where it's just smooth and the story is more visually communicated. It doesn't have, like, any point where it stops and talks to you. But just little quirks in how your character handles. And it also has dumb stuff, like the Shine Spark hurts you for whatever reason. Or dumb stuff like upgrades that don't feel like they do anything because they just get power crept. Like the suit that makes you impervious to lava, but then you start running into levels with super lava, where it doesn't matter that you're lava proof, the lava still hurts you. Like, why even bother, huh? Or like the suit that makes it so that you can move normally in water, but then you run into like super water. Don't like it. Alright. I should upgrade these more. I need to finish upgrading my banks, my bonks. Come on. 65. We made it past 63. That's the really hard one, so it should be good for now. There we go. And that's it for those upgrades. So now I gotta save up for the research facilities. So I'm just gonna let that rock. If I had to pick a favorite Metroid, it would still probably be Metroid Fusion. I played that game a ridiculous number of times, and I've gotten really good at 100%ing it. But you know what's more hardcore than 100%ing it? Is 1%ing it. Because I think Metroid Fusion and Metroid Zero Mission both have secrets, like endings, for intentionally avoiding items. And that becomes a whole different challenge. When you've got almost no health, almost no missiles, you're just permanently depleted, that's rough. That's really, really rough. Good news is when I say secret endings, it's not like a secret story ending. It's just like a little bonus screen at the end that lets you know that you busted your balls. Of course, I already regretted playing Metroid Zero Mission on hard, because enemies have twice as much health and you have half as much stuff. It was just like a massive overcorrection of difficulty. Like, that was not fun at all. Like, I always tell people there's a big difference between challenge and difficulty, where challenge is actually like a test of your skills and abilities, and whereas difficulty is just like busting your balls. It's do this really grindy thing for an unreasonable amount of time, or it's do this thing with like absolute, like an exaggerated level of precision. Like, do it absolutely perfect or you don't get any credit. That's the way I felt about Shantae 3, where the very first room of the final level, I couldn't progress at all because you had to do this exact, precise, perfect platforming challenge, or you would just get kicked back to the start of the room, and I couldn't do it. I had to cheat to beat that game, and it put such a sour taste in my mouth that I quit playing Shantae. There are like 3 or 4 games after Shantae 3. Never gonna touch them now. Because now I know that's on the table. That at any point, the game could just become like unbeatable. And what's gonna happen if the game gets too hard and there's not like an easy cheat or exploit to save my ass? It hurts when you're 10 hours into a game and then you find out, oh, I'm not beating this game. I just wasted my time. 10 hours I invested and I'm never going to see the end. There we go. It's sad, really, because I used to be someone who thought that I'm not a quitter. Any game that I start, I beat, and then I look back and I'm like, that's not me at all. There are tons of games that I've had to quit, like Shinobi for the PS2. I had to quit when I realized that I was getting a panic attack. Just thinking about trying to fire up that last level one more time was like giving me serious health problems. That's when I knew that I had to stop. Because it was just too stressful. I hate... That game started out so cool and so promising, but there are just too many quirks. Like, for one, the idea that that you'll get a checkpoint before a boss fight, but no save point. So if you turn the console off, you'll have to play the level before the boss all over again. That sucks. Let me sell this. Because now I'm going to put a super monkey right smack in the middle. This is where the temple's going to be. And then I can put a village up here. There we go. And then I can put another one down here to cover these guys. And this one I'll make MIB. Sheesh, that's a lot of money. New Shinobi. Did I know there was going to be a new Shinobi coming? And I just forgot. What's it coming to? And what's it like? Is it like PS2 style, or is it like old school side scroller? Revenge of Shinobi? Extremely difficult? See, that does not appeal to me. Because PS2 Shinobi's idea of difficulty was just really bad controls and really obnoxious enemy behavior. What? Spider-Man and Godzilla. Are you kidding? Like, it's not actually literally Spider-Man and Godzilla. It's like Spider-Man and Godzilla, right? Old school side-scroller style. Now that this guy's here, I can actually build another... Oh, ooh. It's very precise, but I can squeeze another village there. Or not village, farm. There were bosses in that game. Wow. See, what round are we on now? They had to change them for future releases to avoid getting sued. Well, that's the funny thing about this game. Well, not this game, but Bloons Tower Defense 4. If you upgraded the boomerang thrower all the way, well, first off, you upgrade the boomerang thrower and he starts throwing glaives instead. Like, Rambo and Terminator were in it too. But yeah, if you upgrade the boomerang thrower, he starts throwing the glaive from Crawl. Like, straight up. It's got the 5 points. It's got the little jewel in the center. You throw it and it comes back like a boomerang. It's the glaive from Crawl. And I don't know how that's not copyright territory right there. But in Bloons Tower Defense 4, if you upgraded him all the way, he would start throwing lightsabers. Like, they were actually called lightsabers. They were spelled London style. It was like Sabre, like a lightsabery. But yeah, he would start throwing lightsabers, and it was like Darth Maul's double lightsaber, but it was green, like Luke Skywalker's Jedi Master lightsaber. Sonny Chiba was the face for Shinobi on the title screen. I had to change that due to licensing. Whether they didn't want to pay for his license, like when Capcom decided that Samanosuke wasn't going to look like Takeshi Kaneshiro anymore. Time to build another farm. And I guess I'm just going to let this rock for a long ass time. Now my village is covered too wide of an area, so now I can't just leave the mouse in one place and it automatically collects them. Man, what was I saying? But yeah, Shinobi on PS2. Thing that really got my goat about that game was, well, for one thing, I thought the like little dash mechanic needed polish, and this is getting annoying. This is pitching the little crates of bananas out here to where I can't reach them. I'm just gonna go ahead and sell this. There we go. Like, I kept accidentally dodging in the wrong way. And I also didn't like how the wall run handled. Where if you got anywhere close to, like, a corner, you would just unstick from the wall and fall to your doom. The wall run also felt, like, super skatey. And you could run side to side fine, but you couldn't go up and down. You had to actually detach yourself from the wall and then double jump back onto the wall. It was very janky. But the thing that did me in was the final boss, where the final boss, one thing he likes to do is he likes to hang out over instantly lethal pits. And just that whole idea, the idea of instantly lethal pitfalls, that feels like such an old, antiquated game design element. I don't know why games on the PS2 were still doing that. It just bothers me. Like, I could do the combat perfectly, but one little mistake with the platforming, and that's just it. All my progress is erased. Like, no, screw you. Alright, I gotta start thinking about building the monkey temple now. Because I watched a tutorial on this. You have to do it in like a specific way to get it to like the maximum strength. So you got to build 5 of these. Right. And then you got to build whatever. You got to build 3 of these. And that's in range, right? Okay. And then you gotta upgrade these all the way. And the annoying thing about these is that the tornadoes blow the glue off. So I try to not upgrade these all the way. But you're supposed to get like the strongest temple. And then I think 3 of these. So 1, upgrade that all the way. 2, upgrade that all the way. And then 3, and then upgrade that all the way. And I think that's what it takes to do it. And then 1 of these. Remaking Shinobi and working on all the bugs and weaknesses would be interesting. Oh, yeah. Because there's a lot to like about that game. Like, it was cool. It had a cool look and sound. A great art style, great character design. Just so much about that was cool. But you can only get so far on looking cool. It has to feel cool. And the cool feel was not there. It did not feel cool. It felt janky. So before I build the temple, I'm just going to let this rock and you can see what this is like. This is really crazy. With the big old mortars and the big old missiles and glue and these Raijin, Fujin looking guys. There we go. And now here's the thing that... Oh, I don't have enough money. Well, I was going to sell these anyway. Because there's no point in sacrificing the banks to the temple. Like, that doesn't do anything. So I'll just sell these. This one too. This one. No point in keeping this around. Okay, now we have enough money. Bam. And there you go. That's as strong as the temple gets. Let's watch him solo this final... Oh, it's not. It's round 84. Whatever. He's got this on lock. Watch him work. There we go. Yeah, he's got this. He's got this. Toasty. And just keeping it rocking on free play mode, because whatever. Yeah, but the real stickler for me when it came to the final boss fight in Shinobi, thing was the whole Tate mechanic, right? That was like the whole gimmick was you rack up these long kill streaks that multiplies your damage, and then you turn that against the boss's enormous health bar, and you hack him down in like 2 or 3 attacks. That was the thing, right? And Shinobi, the final boss, his minions are little tiny floating pieces of paper. And their hitboxes are so tiny. I was getting so frustrated trying to hit them, and every time I would just swing past them. Because they were so teeny tiny. I would just swing all around them and not hit them. And so my kill streak would wear off, and I would lose my damage multiplier. And you can't really you can't really mess around, because that's a game where you have a strict time limit. If you don't do it in time, you just keel over. Because of the whole cursed sword mechanic thingy. So that was like the number one source of frustration to me. I'm sure if like my hair turned gray and fell out just doing it over and over again and giving myself a freaking heart attack, I'm sure eventually I could have figured out that encounter, but I decided to save myself a few years of my life and just give up. Of course, by that time I had already bought Kunoichi, or Nightshade as it's called in the US. I got like a twofer. So I played that game anyway, and it was also not good. It was weird. It was like the flip side, where just playing through the campaign was not nearly as fun. I don't think it had the cursed sword mechanic. I don't remember. But it also had the chakra mechanic that made it way easier. It was too much combat. Like at some point I got tired of just chopping down the same enemies over and over and over again. Levels were getting bogged down with the excessive combat, and so at some point I had to start ignoring them. It just got really boring. And the character was not... None of the characters were interesting at all. Super lame. But at least the final boss, I could actually beat it, right? Like, I got whooped maybe a couple times, but that had a gimmick that was a lot easier to figure out and execute. The ending's mediocre anyway, so you're not missing much. Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm not sure if I ever told you about the time that I played Spyro. Because, like I was saying with Resident Evil Director's Cut, I have like a lot of classic PS games bought digitally and stored on my PS3. And one of them was Spyro. Hibana doesn't have the aura of Hotsu. No. Actually, I heard that the reason Hotsuma's scarf is so crazy was actually because of a bug. Where originally his scarf was going to be way shorter. And then, like, they just messed with it because they were bored or whatever. And they made the scarf way longer. And they didn't really mean to do that, but they were like, this is really cool. I think we're going to keep this for the final build. But yeah, Spyro, right? I played through that game, and it's not too polished. Number one quirk, like irksome quirk to me, was the fact that if you did not like when you would jump onto a platform, it wasn't enough to just make it onto the platform. You had to clear the ledge by a significant distance. Like, there was less than no partial credit. You had to do it more than perfect, because if you landed on the ledge with only like 3 of your 4 feet, or even if you landed on all 4 feet, but you were just maybe a little too close to the ledge, you could actually feel an invisible force field bump you off the platform and down to your doom. That was really bad. There was some really annoying collision stuff going on there, where you basically had to land onto the middle of a platform in order to actually land on it. So that was bad. Uh, it was also counterintuitive in the way enemies were designed, where you had normal enemies and armored enemies, and they were vulnerable to different forms of attack. The armored enemies were only vulnerable to your headbutt, while normal enemies were vulnerable to your fire breath. Does that not sound backwards? Like, these guys with their metallic suits of armor, impervious to heat, but vulnerable to a blunt force attack. Okay, not sure what's up with that. And there were also these really annoying enemies that, like, here's the thing, they were designed to be annoying on purpose, but that doesn't change the fact that they're annoying. These enemies that just run away with collectibles that you're trying to get. They don't actually fight you, you just have to chase them down. And they make annoying little sing-songy sounds the whole time that you're trying to chase them. Those were obnoxious. It's also a game with no bosses. It pretends to have bosses, but it's like they just didn't have the game design to actually do it. So the bosses are very much designed in the same way, where the whole boss fight is just the platforming to chase down and sufficiently damage the boss. That's all. The one of the big killers for my enthusiasm was the gems. As you play through the game, you collect these big, fat, honkin' gemstones. And like I was saying before, with the the little acrylic gems that I would get from the crane game, there's just something really appealing to them. The big, colorful, shiny. As a kid, you're just like, gotta get it. But after collecting so many gems for so long, I wondered to myself, I've got hundreds of these great big honking gemstones. When am I gonna run into a store where I can spend these valuable, precious gemstones on something like a power up, a new move, something to make my fire breath stronger or have a wider spread or something, anything. Give me anything. Where's the store? I've beaten not just the first level, but the first world. I've got I beat the first world, the second world, the third world. Still no store at all. And by the time I got to the final world, I was finally there is no store, is there? There's no store. These gems don't do anything. They're just collectibles. What's the point? What have I been doing this for? And so it finally got to the final boss. And guess what? He's just like the rest. All he does is run away from you. You gotta chase him down, and it takes a really long time because he's just really evasive, running circuits around this really annoying level. And finally, after you've hit him 3 times, his final gambit, his ultimate finishing move, is to just hide at the back of a volcanic cavern and wait for you to come finish him off. That's it. That's his master stroke, is just hide at the back end of a volcano. And that did me in. I saw what he did, and I thought to myself, this isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. I already know exactly what's going to happen. I'm going to try and jump onto these platforms, and then the bad platform is going to make it so that I get bumped off, and I fall to the lava, and I'm going to have to do this all over again. And guess what? That's exactly what happened. I tried to land on the first platform. I did it, but I didn't do it good enough. I only landed with like 3 of my 4 feet. So I get bumped off. I fall down. Have to do the whole thing over. And I said, nope, that's enough. I'm good. I'm good. No more. So I quit. I quit Spyro at the final boss. The boss was down to his last hit. All I had to do was bash him one more time, and I would have won. And I quit. Because there was nothing in it for me at that point. What was I going to get for beating him other than just more disappointment? So, yeah, Spyro. Classic Spyros. Everybody loves Spyro the Dragon, right? Nope, not me. So, I quit, and I never played another Spyro game again because I just think that franchise sucks. I don't think there's anything in it for me. But hey, that's a lot farther than I got playing Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot, I only got like 4% in. And that was even more crushing because I grew up on Crash Team Racing. You know that. You know that's basically a rite of passage that every friend that I have, we have to play Crash Team Racing at least once. That was what I grew up on. Like, a lot of kids are Mario Kart kids. I was a Crash Team Racing kid. And then the first time I actually take a crack at the classic Crash Bandicoot platforming game, I only make it 4% and then I quit. Because the controls are scuffed. I don't like the way Crash handles. He feels like he has a ball and chain on his ankle at all times. There's just too much inertia. There's too much inertia and there's too many camera shenanigans. Like when it goes linear and you're running away from the camera, that's fine. That's okay. But then when it's when you're running away from the boulder and you're running towards the camera, terrible. Absolutely terrible. And then the save mechanic, broken. Because you don't just save. You have to collect these 3 things in the levels, and then you have to beat a little mini 2D side-scrolling level, and then you're allowed to save. Who thought that was a good idea? And I think I knew it was not for me when I got to the 2D platforming level, and then I fell off the side. I fell off the side. It's a 2D platforming level, and I fell off the side. Because even though it's a 2D platformer, it still has 3D controls. So if you steer too far to the left or right, you just fall off. And when you fall off, it's like, oh, too bad, no saving for you. And so you just press forward with no saving until you inevitably get a game over. And that's it. You go all the way back. All the way back. So I said no. No, these games suck. Crash Team Racing is awesome, but Crash Bandicoot, the platformers, not for me. Not for me at all. Maybe I'll play the remake someday. But that first game, just too scuffed. Let's see. Other games that I've quit. Guitar Man, as tragic as that is. I can swallow my pride on that one. Because that's not my forte. RPGs, action games, platformers to a lesser extent. That's my thing, not rhythm games. So, I can't, like, you know, that Guitar Man is awesome. I'm not going to say that game sucks just because I can't beat it. It's just not for me. Guitar Man, I will always tell people, that's the best game that I will never beat. I would rather just listen to the soundtrack. Or maybe watch the cutscenes on YouTube, and that's it. Like, it's fun watching you play it, but I can't. I got whomped by Mojo King Bee just because that game is so absolutely punishing. You have to be near perfect to be able to whittle the enemy's health down. But like one or two little mistakes and your HP bar is devastated. Not for me. But whatever, I can live with it. Alright, round 100. Let's see if I can make it. Like, I'm barely even participating at this point. Let's get the technological terror just to try and ensure our victory here. What's another game that I quit? This is really embarrassing, but Pokemon Sapphire I could not beat when I first played it. That's really dumb because Pokemon games are some of the easiest games in the world. They don't even have a game over screen. They don't. The game just takes some of your money and then it kicks you back to the last checkpoint. There's no actual game over. You're terrible at tactics games. Have I played any? Does Heroes of Might and Magic count? Because I played the third one. I used to play the third one all the time. I'm sure there'll be content on this channel at some point too. But, shoot, what was I saying? Yeah, Pokemon Sapphire. Couldn't beat it the first time I played it. It also didn't help that I corrupted my first copy of that game by using Action Replay. Couldn't beat Legaia RPGs. I don't know a lot about them. Doesn't Legaia have like that one girl with the giant green boomerang? Just another game on my backlog. I just love video games. I want to play them all. I want to give each one at least one try. You know? Yeah. Yeah, Pokemon Sapphire, I love that game, but that was also at the tail end of my childhood interest in Pokemon. Everybody was kind of growing out of it. And then, right as I was wrapping up high school, I decided, you know what, let me go back and take another crack in it. And so I beat Sapphire, Emerald, and Ruby. I was on like this huge Pokemon kick. And then it turned out that I wasn't the only one because all the other kids my age were also getting back into Pokemon. Like, Gen 5 was coming out around that point, Pokemon Black and White, and people told me, hey, you should play this game with us, we'll trade. And the whole trading thing didn't work out, but Black and White did turn out to be really, really good. I played Pokemon White because I thought Reshiram looked stupid. It was just like a weird... It was like a weird dragon duck. It was dumb. Zekrom was way cooler. Zekrom is my aesthetic, like, down to the soles of his feet. Like, big black and blue electric dragon. Oh yeah, sign me up for that. So that was awesome. Pokemon Black 2 was awesome. Because again, I just want to play with Zekrom. I didn't want to touch Reshiram at all. I thought it was one of the worst looking legendaries ever. Was really surprised by those games. Because I went in with a pretty negative outlook. I thought a lot of the Pokemon designs were just crap. But I managed to find a few that were appealing enough. And so I kind of put together a grocery list of Pokemon that I wanted. And yeah, they turned out pretty sick. Especially the soundtracks. The soundtracks were baller. Champion Iris still has the best track out of any Pokemon game. What's another one that I quit? I kind of quit Final Fantasy 12. Like, I beat it, but I didn't want to just beat it. I wanted to do like I usually do with Final Fantasy, where I beat all the bonus content. And then at some point I just got fed up. I was like, I cannot stomach this anymore. Just please take me to the credits. Take me to the final boss. Let's wrap this up and get it over with. And that's bad. In that sense, it's actually worse than Final Fantasy VIII. Because with Final Fantasy VIII, at least I could actually, like, well, not 100% that game because screw Triple Triad, but as far as getting all the spells and all the Guardian Forces and stuff, I did that. I got Squall's ultimate weapon on disc 1. Like, I did a lot of content in that game. And even though I hated Triple Triad, I actually wound up getting the best card. Just, it took a lot of sheer brute force, but I was able to do it. But Final Fantasy XII, everything about that was just designed to irritate. It's what I tell people about post-game of Final Fantasy X. It's a single-player game that's designed like an MMO. Final Fantasy XII is that problem times freaking 100. Where it is so grind-intensive. No, thank you. Let me look at my collection. I'm sure there's another one I quit. Hulk Ultimate Destruction? Not for any particular reason. Like, that game is good. It's really good, but for whatever reason, it just hasn't stuck with me. I've tried to fire it up on two different occasions, and each time, I just kind of fall off. I should really try again at some point. Because that game is really fun, just for whatever reason. It doesn't, it's not gripping me. And, let's see, what's another game that I quit? Well, I've beaten all of the, like... Well, not all of them. I didn't beat the stupid rhythm game, but I've beaten most Kingdom Hearts games. I haven't played the rhythm game, and I never played any of the mobile games. Because they were all online. And so I just decided that it's not worth my time. Like, at some point they're going to shut down the servers. And I'm not going to be able to play them. Why bother getting invested in the first place? Because what if I decide that I like them and I want to replay them and I can't because the servers are permanently down? I don't like that. Like, that approach did not make sense to me. How do you make an installation in a story-intensive game a mobile MMO? Because you know that eventually the servers are going to shut down and they're not going to get turned back on. At some point, that game's going to be discontinued. And then what? You can't make it integral to the story because then once the servers are shut down, that's just it. They're gone. You can't get it anymore. Are you just banking on people like archiving all the story content on YouTube? That doesn't seem like a good approach. So the only really way you can do that is to not make it important to the story at all. Just make it completely disposable. I'm sure at some point they're going to do like they did with other handheld Kingdom Hearts games and like come out with a cinematic version just to keep people caught up on the story. Because I think Kingdom Hearts key back cover is like that to some extent, but it doesn't have all the details. Other games that I quit. I didn't get very far into Halo. Again, not for any real reason. The game wasn't bad. It just didn't stick with me. And Bloons Tower Defense. You know, as much as I enjoy playing these games, I don't think I'm ever gonna be like a hardcore player that is gonna clear the extreme difficulty maps on the extreme difficulty levels. I'm not a pro player. Like eventually the fever will cool and then I'll give up this game and then I'll get back into it in another 1 or 2 or 3 years. Man, we're around 108 now. Actually, I probably need to take some more medication at some point. Let's see what I got. No, that's only like every 12 hours. One of my pills has gone missing. That's not okay. No, I already took that for the day, and that, and that. What's this? Take on an empty stomach. Okay. Let's see, what's this one? No, not yet. I like how I'm clearing these maps without even looking at them. Like I'm just fiddling with my prescriptions and just letting these 2 super monkeys solo these rounds. Or not solo, like duo these rounds. I found out the last time I played this level that you can't just fill up the screen with super monkeys. Because you can see I have a lot of money now, but if you get more than, I think, 10 super monkeys on screen, the frame rate just disastrous. It's in like the single digits. Like 10 super monkeys, 10 frames per second. So at some point you start running into the limitations of the game itself. So eventually I'm just going to get overwhelmed. Oof, and starting to get a bit of an upset stomach. think pretty soon I'm going to have to call it quits because I haven't even dug into the new One Piece chapter yet. Which, oh, by the way, have you seen this? Built, this is last Sunday. I built my own little model of the Thousand Sunny. Because this was part of my haul from Collective Con. I got this, and I got the first 15 volumes of One Piece. And I got them all down here in like a little cube. Where the volumes form the little backdrop. And then I've got the Thousand Sunny front and center. It's a lot smaller than I was expecting, though. I really could use another model to fill out that space. I'm just not sure what to get. It's honestly amazing what these people who make models have been able to do, because there are models for almost every character, even the most obscure character, in like specific poses from specific panels. There's models for characters in all their different outfits. It's wild. Like, I even found a model of Yoko from Gurren Lagann in an outfit that she only wears once in one shot from, like, a music video. You ever have that? You have, like, a favorite character design, but it is so brief and fleeting. Like, one of my favorite Nami designs only shows up in the first episode of One Piece, and it's non-canon. Or like another one where she's got like a ponytail and glasses on, which, like, by the way, ladies, if you get the ponytail and glasses look going on, that's like an extra 3 points right there, easy. Like, that's kind of my thing. But yeah. Ponytail and glasses Nami only shows up in like one opening for 3 seconds, and then not anywhere else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else like that. My favorite design of Titus from Final Fantasy X only shows up in Dissidia, where he's more true to the concept art. Trying to think if there's anything else like that. Now I'm thinking of character designs, and I'm looking at Metal Gear Rising, and it always bugged me how when you start that game off, everything is blue. And blue is my favorite color. Like, you've got blue special effects coming off all of your attacks, and lots of little, like, blue, like, LEDs going on, and your energy meter is blue. But the more you play that game, the more everything changes to red. Like, at some point you get the Desperado chassis, and it's just strictly better than your normal outfit, and it's red. And when you get Ripper mode, your meter changes to red, and you replace your normal sword with Jetstream Sam's red sword. And I mean, nothing wrong with red. It's just, I don't like it. I don't like the red supremacy in that game. That sounds weird, but yeah. I think, man, those shelves are getting crowded. Really crowded. I got all those extra games from my late uncle, but I want to really build more cubes, because I've got my One Piece cube, my Final Fantasy VII cube, my Cowboy Bebop cube, which is also Space Dandy. That's from the same guy, right? Let me actually let me look that up. Because I'm pretty sure that those are from the same guys. If not, then that's really embarrassing. Space Dandy. Yes, please. Produced by Bones. Rosaphon number 6. Not to be confused with Blue Submarine number 6. Wolf's Rain, Scrapped Princess. Eureka 7, Angelic Lair, Darker Than Blacks, Soul Eater. Watanabe. That's it. Yep, Shinichiro Watanabe. Chief Director. Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Carol and Tuesday. Never heard of it. Terror in Residence. Never heard of that either. Space Dandy. Isn't he working on something new? But, yeah. Let's see. One Piece, FF7. Oh. I lost, by the way. I didn't even notice. Alright, that's enough of that. One Piece, FF7, Cowboy Bebop, Power Rangers, Guyver. I really need to order another figure after I got scammed on the last one. Did I tell you about that? Oh, he's working on Lazarus. Okay. The Guyver figure. Ordered one off of Amazon, and it was supposed to show up on the 10th, and then they delayed it to the 14th, and then the Amazon page that I ordered from disappeared, and then it just said it was late, and then it wouldn't even give me a date or an ETA or anything. It just said it's running late, and so I was like, just give me my refund. Funnily enough, he based a character off of Nicholas Draper Ivy. Dude, I went to college with? Who is this guy? Who is this mythical Nicholas Draper Ivy? That's an epic name, by the way. If I'm pronouncing that right. Is Draper? Dropper? Yeah, I got scammed on that model. That was supposed to be the centerpiece. Now the centerpiece is just that copy of Guyver 2 Dark Hero I was telling you about that's got David Hayner's signature on it. I got my giant robots cube. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got my general purpose Gynax and Trigger cube, and then I've got 3 different Fully Cooley cubes lined up over there. That's my Fully Cooley Tower of Power. I'd really like to make more cubes based on... I've got my notes here somewhere for ideas that I had. Because at some point I started brainstorming and I want to jot it all down. I get a lot of use out of the memo app on my phone, by the way. Just for grocery shopping or jotting down cool ideas. I wanted to make a cube for Death Note. Because I've got the soundtrack, and I've got the Blu-ray collection. And I've got this that I picked up from Collective Con, this little 3D printed thing. It'd be nice to use this as like a backdrop, and then have like a figure standing here of I don't know, light, I guess. And I kick myself for getting rid of it, but I used to have the mock Death Note. I should really pick up another one because, there's got to be millions of those out there. Nick's a comic book artist who's been making connections. I'll say. If he's got Shinichiro Watanabe making a character based off of him. So yeah, I wanted to make a Death Note cube, And I wanted to make a Devil May Cry cube because I got them over here. I've got the the HD collection. I've got the DMC5 soundtrack. Unfortunately, I only have the digital copies of 4 Special Edition and 5. 4 Special Edition, I don't think even had a physical copy. It was digital only, and it still beat the crap out of the Special Edition or the Definitive Edition reboot in sales. That was embarrassing. So I've got that, and then of course I have my autographs from Dan Southworth and Johnny Young Bosch. I've got both of them. I've got a Power Rangers print and a Devil May Cry print. I've got Johnny Young Bosch's autographs filed away somewhere up there in my shelf. I also thought about making a Big Trouble in Little China cube, because I've got Big Trouble in Little China Escape from New York crossover comic. I've got the movie on DVD, and then I've also got my little Jack Burton action figure, like retro style, right here. So those are all cool ideas. But then you see, my shelves are already pretty packed. It's why I've had to get rid of a lot of stuff, and why I gave you a lot of like books and things. Because I gotta find space for all this to make room for new cubes. In the meantime, Jack, you can go back over there. It's too bad he doesn't have his little knife. In fact, it's not even on his boots. He's supposed to have like a little place on his boots where he stows his knife, and it's not here. I mean, I know the whole point is that it's supposed to look cheap. That's like the joke. But like, they got his mullet right. They got his tank top right, but they couldn't give him a little thing for his knife? Or like a little knife accessory or whatever? That's kind of a bummer. I mean, that knife, it's pretty important. Kind of essential to that story. Well, maybe that's an exaggeration, but like, it plays a key part, you know? What am I running over? I'm running over the cable for my phone. Yeah, so trying to find room for more cubes when I just took on like a whole bunch of games from my late uncle. It's tight. It's really tight. Oh, you weren't there for my last big unboxing stream, were you? Because here, hold on a second. Hold on. Oops. Okay. Nope, that's wrong. There we go. I had to switch to intermission because I like to be comfortable during these streams, and so I don't have my belt on, and I don't just want my pants falling down on stream. But I got some more Fully Cooley stuff, because I don't like anyone being a bigger Fully Cooley fan than me. So I got this Takun the Cat plushie, just to fill out a little empty space right in the middle. And I got this special limited release Blu-ray because it's got illustrations of the characters that I haven't seen anywhere else. And then get ready for this. I got the storyboard. Which is pretty cool, right? But check this out. Look at how thick that is. That is a chunky boy. Sheesh. Yeah, it's all the storyboards, from what I can tell. All of them. The whole thing. Is it left to right or right to left? It's left to right. Which is ironic, because it's entirely in Japanese. Oh. I was happy to get it. Yeah, like I always tell people, I don't like the idea of anybody being a bigger Fully Cooley fan than me, so I try to stay on top. I try to have the biggest collection. But unfortunately, a lot of times I've just had to say no. Because there's like shirts out there that I wanted that people are charging outrageous prices for. Like little keychains that are going on sale for like $60. Or pins that go for like $100. Like, no. Like, I may be a diehard fan, but I'm not gullible or stupid. Someone was selling a special Blu-ray collection of Progressive and Alternative together that also comes with like a little booklet, and it comes with a t-shirt. And like, no. We're a fan of classic Fully Cooley around here. I have seasons 2 or 3 on Blu-ray just for posterity, just for the sake of completion. But no, we're about season 1. We're about OG Fully Cooley. So there's no way I'm going to fork out like hundreds of dollars for a special edition of a season that is downright terrible, another season that's good but nowhere near as good as season 1, and a t-shirt that in all likelihood doesn't even fit me. No, we're not doing that. But I'm pretty happy with the state of it now. Classic is best. Oh yeah, not even close. Like I talked about this in my debut stream, but it's like classic, and then alternative, and then grunge, and then shoegaze, and then progressive. Honestly, progressive should be a little lower than that, but I would have to like start tearing up the floorboards to show you just how low progressive is on that scale. Considering that was the second season, like the immediate follow-up to Classic Fully Cooley, it makes the failure all the more profound. How do you go from the highest high to the lowest low? How do you do that? Probably the same way that Marvel went from Black Panther to Avengers 3. Where Black Panther, that was one of their best movies. And Avengers 3 made me want to just storm out of the theater because it was so stupid. Controversial opinion, I know, but I'm sticking to it. Last time we were hanging out, I was talking to you about ideas for like content we could do together. I absolutely had an idea for. I'm pretty sure I've talked to you about this before, about how fast can we catch up on One Piece? Not necessarily speed running it or speed reading it, just reading at a normal pace, and like talking about it, but just kind of clocking ourselves, you know. Because it would be neat to catch you up on that so that we can talk about that kind of thing together. Because I feel like I always gotta be careful about spoilers around you. Because that is a solid series. It just reminds me of Dragon Con back in, that was 2023, right? When I met up with you and your friends, and we talked One Piece stuff, but I couldn't talk about it too much because you haven't read it yet. What was I saying? But then we also talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I have this feeling deep in my heart that at some point we're going to have to play through that. And I had been avoiding talking to you about it, just to give you a chance to form your own opinions about it. But then the conversation sort of naturally steered toward us talking about FF7 Remake, and then I just like totally spilled the beans. Yeah. That was funny. That con had its challenges, but I definitely had a good time. I'd love to go back to Volcano. That place was great. Yeah. What was I saying? I was about to say something, and I'm totally blanking out. I should check out the new chapter. Close that down. Close that down. I forgot to change the text for our little balloons playthrough. And then that'll do it for the stream. I didn't even talk about it, but I started the stream late. I started at 2 when I normally started at 1. Just because I stayed up so late last night, and I got up really late. I didn't get out of bed until like 10:50, just because I'm really, really relishing my spring break right now. That's it. Yep, I'll see you in a few days, man. Catch you later. And thanks for joining us. Let's see what we've got here. Wait a second. Oh. Wait, is that my chat? Is that my live chat? I just noticed the chat in stream. It is so delayed. It is massively delayed by like minutes. Oh, that's really bad. Oh, that sucks. I don't like that. I need to do something about that. Oh no, someone chatted on Twitch and I didn't even see it. What is that? I have multi-chat on. Oh no. Did he get lost in the mix? He didn't show up at all. Someone was really nice and texted and chatted something on Twitch, but it's not showing up in my multi-chat. What's going on here? Oh, that's messed up. I'm sorry, George1X. Yes, I do watch Peak Piece. I'm very sorry that I didn't catch your chat. OBS is being kind of funny right now. I didn't have Twitch open, and so I didn't get to see your chat. Man, that's messed up. Why you gotta do me dirty like that, OBS? This is multi-chat. It's supposed to show me what's going on with It's supposed to be like YouTube and Twitch together. What? Dude, I'm scrolling through my chat and it's just not there. It's not. What's up with that? I also don't see... I don't actually see my stream on Twitch at all. Hang on. What's going on here? Where's my Twitch stream? I'm supposed to be live right now. Hello? Yeah, why am I not live? It says that I'm live, but then it says that I'm offline. OBS. You're making me mad. It says that I've been streaming for 3 hours and 31 minutes, but then I look at the stream and it just says that we're offline. I've got it turned on OBS. Multi-stream is supposed to be good. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I can't see myself on I can't. I can't see myself on Twitch at all. It says that I'm offline, but it also says that I'm live. I'm gonna have to troubleshoot that. Whatever. Let's just read this One Piece chapter already, okay? And then I'll figure that out. I'm really... I really hate myself for not seeing that guy's chat. That was bad. I did not like that. Whatever. Chapter 11:44, A Time for Warriors. Only child Yamata, blah blah blah. Liberating the girls and Minamoto the carpenter. Don't really care about this plot. I don't at all. I don't want to be in Wano. The Real Life Zoro, Makenyu Arata has been dropping by the studio recently to play the One Piece card game. He really enjoys it. Let's see what we got here. Page 1 Ripley, that's a great start. The Adam Tree tour continues. What the hell is that? Well, what do you think it is? This has always been here. It's giving me scientific vibes. Ha, I figured you of all people would appreciate it, being a cyborg and all. Why would there be a facility like this in a country of warriors? Huh. What is this? It's like a lab or something? It's like an actual metallic structure. Hey Frankie, you're here. I was just thinking I'd like to show you this place later. It's awesome here, Frankie. Oh, these two are back. It's been a while since we've checked in on the Egghead crew. Lilith, Bonnie, what are you two doing here? We got lost. Thanks for finding us. Guess even geniuses get lost. It's good we found you. There was a horn blast earlier, so the woods might not be safe right now. So these guys aren't tuned into the crisis at all. In any case, this facility really is stunning. I estimate that it's been here for at least 3,000 years. 3,000. That's way older than the Void Century. How could you calculate that? There's no way it's that old. We can't really refute that claim. Honestly, even we locals aren't sure about the origins of this building. Now that's something worth researching. I think I'll make myself at home here. You'll get lost again. Well, I'm going to check out for myself. Yeah, what's wrong, Bonnie? Look out. What I find most scary, thunder. There's something behind you. Oh man, this is unreal. Elbaf's just full of crazy stuff, huh? No, that's not familiar. What kind of creature is that? Western Village. What I find most scary, Draugr. Sober up and grab your weapons. That Firesval was wrecked. It's not just a regular zombie. It's a regular zombie. Since when were you familiar with zombies? Are you saying zombies are regular around here? Okay, it's a Draugr. What could have brought the children's imagination to... Wait, no, don't skip over this. Explain to me what a Draugr is. Is it like an undead warrior or something? That's kind of what I gleaned from it. But it's also, like, on fire. So it's Killinger that brings these fears to life, right? Like these horrible nightmares. How does he decide how big they are? Because can he make them as big as he wants? Oh, just a random thought. But what could have brought the children's imagination to life like this? Where are the chiefs? We're waiting on their orders. They drank too much. They're still holed up in the privy. You're kidding. This couldn't be more surreal. A giant me? You visitors should fall back to the edge of the village. Should I carry you all there? Hey, you don't need to keep us at arm's length. We want to help fight. You said that last bit a little too quietly. Either way, there's definitely something strange happening on this island. That's enough. That's such a weird name. Colon? Colon. Yeah. Colon. Why not? I'm a warrior too. I can fight. I just told you no. I'm Gabon's son, and that doesn't make you Gabon. A battlefield's no place for a kid like you. Yeah. Ja Rule. It's been too long, I forgot his name was Ja Rule. What's wrong, Missy? I'm sorry, there's something I didn't tell you before. You're saying one of these intruders looked just like Red Hair? Yeah, and both of them were seriously strong. One of them had a really weird ability. In this world, strange powers usually come from devil fruits. If it's an unknown element, odds are it's a devil fruit user. I like that Jinbei said that, by the way. I like that. Because usually, it feels like it takes people too long to key in on the idea that, oh, there's this unprecedented thing going on, must be a devil fruit user. No, that's almost never their first thought, when it really should be. Spread the word that there are 2 humans other than the Straw Hats on Elbaf. Report back as soon as you find them. Got it, right away. Are you sure it's only 2 intruders? All this chaos suggests there could be more. Right, get the word out now. Good thinking, Brooke. You look a little off model, though. That doesn't look much like Brooke. He's looking a little scuffed there. I don't know who's behind this, or where they're hiding, but anyone who kidnaps children in broad daylight is nothing but scum. If they're taking hostages, they must have something else planned for Elbaf. Oh, that was an odd translation. I've never heard of kidnapping like this before. I won't let them get away with it. We'll lend a hand. We'll just need a human-sized ship to... Don't be ridiculous. You're our guests. You should go hide somewhere safe. Hey, just wait a sec. Yeah, sorry. It's just... That's funny. Giants telling the Straw Hats that they should just go somewhere safe while the Giants take care of things. I'm not sure how to feel about the Giants right now, because I'm used to the old way, right, where Giants are just jobbers, but it feels like within the past couple arcs or so, they've been trying to kind of redeem Giants, try and make them scary again, after they've been jobbers for basically the entire manga. So, I don't know what's going to happen here. Are they actually going to turn out to be strong, or are they going to need rescuing? Like usual. Hey, just wait a sec. Where are Dory and Broggy? Still stuck in the privy. They seriously need to lay off the booze. If the culprits are human-sized, we'd be better suited to dealing with this. That's right, the Giants can take care of big things. We should focus on the intruders. Agreed, but Elbaf is too big for us to search on foot. Heave-ho. Huh? You want to come with me? I thought you were going to tell me to stop. Alright then, but I get to be the captain. That's so cute. Let's go. Pirates. Set sail. Hey, you're big enough to row. Onwards. And we got Gunko vibing to TD. What does TD stand for? All warriors in the Sun Realm, please be advised. There was a confirmed sighting of humans other than the Straw Hats earlier at Oest Castle. Consider them hostile and dangerous. Yeah, it's Gunko's post-meal ritual. Her post-meal ritual is vibing? It's not a ritual, I just like it. That's a TD, right? We should have a singing contest. You're out if you mess up. Bam. It's nice having a hobby. What's your favorite song? New World. Is she listening to Uta? You've got a problem with the current one? You shouldn't mock the interests of other summers. That's rich coming from the infamously elitist world nobles. My bad. Anyway, looky over here. Or over there. That grown-up is going all out to try and save the kids. No, there ain't no way they can stab me. They ain't going nowhere. You've got this, Saul. The kids are just following this cloth, right? But it's heading straight for the flames. They'll die if I don't stop them. Alright, they'll stop. What the? Sorry. Ylva, Scotty. Olaf, you okay back there? What now? If I stop one, they all start pricking each other. That's disgusting. Who could do such a thing? Saul, it must be the work of a fruit ability. They have to be close by. The kids would reach the fire before we found them. We can't let that happen. If we can't stop the ones in front, then we'll start with Bjorn in the back. Yes, he's out of the line. If I can stop the rest one by one. What I find most scary, Fenrir. No way. They're actually controlling these monsters too? Who's behind this? Yeah. Principal, it's not just Western Village. Other villages are reporting monster sightings. They're appearing all over Elbaf. It must be some kind of ability. We need to find them fast. Right. Great. It's good that now everybody is figuring this out. And now there's a manhunt for whoever's causing this. Western... Oh. Ooh, hold on a second. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. It's just I realized that my bookmarks were visible, and I don't really like doing that because I don't like spoiling what I've got, because sometimes my bookmarks pertain to future plans. But it's okay. You couldn't see them. You could probably see them earlier in the stream, though. That's not good. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. But it's hard to do anything about it. Let's see. Some kind of ability. Gotta find them. Western Village outskirts. Finally. I didn't think Draugrs were real. Who knew taking one down would be this much trouble? Carry the injured back to the village. Rawr. What? Bwah. A need hogger. And a ghost. It's no use, they just keep coming. We won't be able to protect the village. Everyone, take cover. Ready, Dory? Absolutely, Broggy. Hakoku. Nice. Well, hopefully that's the end of those things. Yes, did the chiefs do that? No, it's the giant warrior pirates. Sorry we're late. We had to barf up all that booze. What a waste. Leave the beasts to us. You guys take care of the kids. This is the Svalar mode of our mighty ship, the Great Aeric. You monsters are in for it now. We'll get you for making us waste our booze. Mountain Eater Yasan? That ship's basically invincible now. The Pirate King's left hand arrives. Color spread to celebrate the anime's return in the next... Oh, yeah, that's right. The anime's coming back. I had been meaning to check out the Fishman arc in its old and new versions to see what's different and like make some content based on that. So I suppose I'll have to get on that. But that was a meaty chapter. I liked that. I liked how it seemed to juggle a lot of stuff without feeling too slow. There was a lot of stuff. We saw everyone in action. We saw some new stuff going on. We got to see characters being smart, which is always good. It's not just the usual everyone just scratching their thick skulls and wondering what's going on. They're starting to actually really pick up on what's happening. And they're trying out different things. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There was good action in this. Good chapter. And it looks like we've got another one next week, so look forward to that. For now, that should do it for this stream. Unfortunately, I'm not too happy with what's going on here. First off, Twitch is scuffed. I don't know what's going on there. Like, it's a black screen. It says offline, but it also says that we're live. It's very confusing. I'm sorry that I missed the chat from that one guy. I really wish that had not happened. So, and it didn't show up in OBS either. I'm looking at the multi-chat, and it's just Jaren on YouTube. I didn't see the other guy's chat at all. I didn't see it show up like on stream at all. So it feels like I got a lot of troubleshooting to do. I got to figure out why Twitch just went belly up on me. But there was I still had a lot of fun on this stream too. I went from not knowing what to do at all to having what I thought was a pretty enriching stream. It had a lot going on. It was great talking with Jaren. It was great playing balloons and checking out the Sandman and talking about. I didn't even really talk about Dan Southworth. The reason why Dan Southworth is, or the reason why Virgil is part of the thumbnail for this stream was Jaren and we headed over to where Dan Southworth was doing like a signing at a small collectible store, or not collectible store, like a comic book / trading card game store, and that was a good time. I have his autographs somewhere. I don't have them on me now. I meant to show them off, but next time. But yeah, it was nice chatting and watching the Sandman and playing balloons and reading the new One Piece chapter. That was a neat little stream, and I'll look forward to the next one, which should be April 6th. Assuming everything goes according to plan. Just as always, things are subject to change. You never know what could happen. Future's always changing. But right now, assume that we're going to come back April 6th at our usual time, which is 1 p.m. I know we've been late the past couple of weeks, but I'm going to try and get back on schedule next week. But just in case anything changes, best way to stay up to date is to just stay in touch with all my little socials down here. Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Discord. I forgot to post on Discord. It's actually been a while since I posted on Discord. Sorry to say. And I'll say something else too. I really, really hope that I'm feeling better by then. I'm gonna keep taking my meds. Unfortunately, I'm already like over halfway through my meds, and I'm still a long way from feeling well. I'm probably gonna need to go back to the clinic again sometime this week. Try and get this under control because I've got a lot of congestion here and here and here. My ears have been stuffed up so bad. I was talking about it last stream. Like, if you ever see me go like this, like chewing on nothing, it says I'm trying to unpop my ears. So that's all it is. My face is just glitching out. I'm going to close things up for today, though. If you could leave a like on this video, that would be really appreciated. A subscription, even more so. And feel free to leave a comment talking about I don't know, obscure animation that you've come in contact with, or what you thought of the new One Piece chapter. You can tell me about your stance on difficulty versus challenge, or games that you've quit, or you can give me ideas for new cubes, or you can tell me what you think of Fooly Cooly, what seasons you're famous. You can tell me how awesome Fooly Cooly Classic is, or how awful Progressive is. Or just talk about anything. All comments are welcome, within reason. And as always, we really appreciate the support that you've shown us so far, because every little bit counts. Every like, every comment, every subscription, it helps us push us forward to bigger and better things. I'm in talks with Jaron about bringing him on the channel at some point, and we can do collaborative content there. I've got all sorts of ideas for paintings, tier lists, top fives, reviews, all that kind of thing. Right now, the next big project is probably going to be just checking out the new Devil May Cry anime that's supposed to be coming out later this week. Our big Devil May Cry fans out here. Obviously, I was just talking about, Dan Southworth getting his autograph. Just lots and lots of cool ideas for the future. And until then, y'all have a good day, and I'll see you later.